What is up, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Apple, Spotify, and everyone tuned in on the Texas Sports Unfiltered app? Welcome in to another edition of Bucky and BK live on Texas Sports Unfiltered and on the free TSU app. Today is Tuesday, January 6th, 2026, and the Buck and I are with you for the next 2 hours. On today's show, the Texas Longhorns picked up another transfer yesterday. We'll tell you all about what tight end Michael Masunas is going to bring to the Longhorns. Plus, have the Horns pivoted on their search for a new running back? The latest rumors, news, notes, and nuggets from around the portal, both for the Texas Longhorns and all across the country. We've got some NFL news to get into. How about 4 coaches getting fired on Black Monday in the National Football League? We'll talk about that, plus a pretty intriguing Cowboys mock draft and some early thoughts on Super Wildcard Weekend. Texas basketball is back in action tonight, taking on a familiar foe. The Longhorns traveling to Tennessee to take on Rick Barnes and the Volunteers. We will preview that matchup. And, a couple of not-so-good restaurant-related stories from the great state of Texas to get to. Plenty of sports, plenty of fun, and a lot going on over the next couple of hours right here on Bucky and BK. We appreciate y'all starting your Tuesdays with us. How are you this morning, my man?
I'm good. It's another beautiful morning. Going to be a beautiful day. Low 80s today. Good golf day. Get out there and get it done. I gotta bring my weight up. I need to bring my scores down for the new year. So I'm doing a little bit more work down on the putting green and my net, getting some stuff done. Also doing a lot of yard work, a lot of stuff in the yard right now. It's that in-between time that, you don't want to start cutting stuff up because the winter hasn't hit your plants yet. You start putting, new cuts on your plants, and all of a sudden a freeze hits them, they're going to suffer. So, and my cat has been missing for over 24 hours now.
Oh, no.
One of the 2 babies are missing, so it's kind of sad around here. When that happens, that generally means if your cat's missing for about 2 or 3 days, and you've been used to seeing your cat around after they've reached a certain age, that means they went on the other side of the fence. And how many times have I tell you not to cross the street? Don't cross the street, cat. Stay on this side of the fence or on the other side where the farm area is over there, where the dog can be heard and seen and everything else. You cross the street on the other side where there's woods, there's coyotes, there's big raccoons, there's, and my cats aren't these big, like alley cat looking things. They're fed well, and, they come up, they know a couple times a day, you'll see them around on the porch looking for their meal. But my gray cat is missing in action, as my wife is so upset. I mean, trying to talk to her now is like, I had a cat that I had for 18 years was an outdoor cat, and it just started getting lazy. It just was old, and it would start to lay up against the garage door. And so I know how the coyotes were out, and my old place out there in Cedar Valley there, where I was the mayor, but the coyotes didn't care if I was the mayor or not. And I knew they got that cat laying up there sleeping against that door. They surrounded it and got it. But this one's a young one. This was only like 5 years old. We raised that cat inside and brought him outside. But this one's the kind of roamer, kind of I'm cool. The other one is sitting up there right now. I hadn't left the porch in 2 days.
You gave him the Sean Miller speech.
I gave him the Sean, don't you dare cross that street. And every time sometimes we do the show, I look out and I see the cat walking down the side of the street here on the other side of the fence. Well, the coyotes don't care. They'll come out in the middle of the day.
Oh, yeah.
They can get to you. They don't care. They roam this area all the time.
They got to eat too.
Hey, they like cat. I like cat. They like cat. I mean, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, the coyotes and us have something in common, huh?
Yeah, so I think she got.
But
I was asking my wife, I said, what do you think? We need to get a new one? She goes, first of all, the one that's 5 would tear a baby apart, not being around. Or like if Louis saw a little thing like that running around, he would grab it and just throw it, thinking it's like a toy, and that would be it. So
did y'all go buy that cat, or I thought outdoor cats just kind of show up at your door and then you?
No, we went to somebody that had some kittens.
Gotcha.
And then got them spayed, neutered, and all that stuff. And kept them inside for a year until they got a little bit bigger, and then they understood how to get around. But I didn't have this crazy dog at that time either.
Yeah.
And this dog right here, if you just paws at a kitten, he'll kill it.
But he didn't go after the cats.
Oh, no, he'd go after if the cats would leave the porch and start to run, he would try to get them. But they looked at it, he'd go up a tree and just look at him, you idiot. Can't get up this tree. Or they'd go through the fence and go on the other side where the farmer's thing was. But one cat down, and no, we're not replacing. This is not the time of my life. It's time to replace things, you know, like parts of my body, like, hey, take this, do this. I'm like, no, let's do some other things first before you start taking parts out and putting stuff in. So that's it.
I'm holding out hope that the cat shows up.
I am too. I mean, I've been around these cats when it's gone 3 days, they disappear. Somebody may have seen them and took them inside in their place.
Sure.
You know, or whatever, but it's been a long time since that's happened. They're 5 years old now, so they don't generally go inside to anybody's place. If you leave food outside, they'll do it, but they won't come in. Now they'll come in here. Now my wife asked me yesterday, should I let the other cat inside? I'm like, hell no. Not all of a sudden having an indoor cat that was an outdoor cat. Cat will tear this place apart.
Right. That cat doesn't want that, and you don't want that.
And what about Zach inside with that cat? Can you imagine that?
Oh my gosh, a little tiny dog.
Oh no! And she's talking about getting another Zach when the time. I'm like, no, we're too old. Oh, we don't need another, and we don't need another anything.
There's not enough Advil in the world to deal with another Zach with the way that guy yaps.
We just need another day. That's all we're looking for. Other days. We're not looking for other animals. Good morning to the soldiers at Fort Hood, Texas, the soldiers in the state of Texas, and all those that fight for us each and every day. Thank you so very much for what you do. We do appreciate it. We appreciate you, and we appreciate your family sharing you with all of us. And to all of you out there, please be safe.
Yeah, I like those New Year's resolutions. Higher weight, lower scores, and more days.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm looking for, more days.
The goals of the Buck in 2026. No tip for kids today. You told me that's coming back tomorrow?
Yeah, Bussy will show up again tomorrow. I haven't seen Bussy. So somebody on the text line, the Dakota text line said yesterday, the drip will be back in school tomorrow. How about that? I love that. Right on Wednesday. That's kind of cool. That's smart maneuver. Dripping Springs School District.
As a student, I'd prefer a Friday start. As a
parent, a Friday start? No, a Friday start, huh?
Yeah, as a parent, you'd prefer the Monday start. Like,
for sure.
Spend enough time with you kids the last few weeks. Get your ass back at school.
And when does college go back? Next week?
2 weeks.
2 more weeks?
2 weeks from today, because that's the day after Martin Luther King Day.
My goodness.
Yeah. So you got a few more weeks of winter break for the college students. That's the best part of being a college kid, is that you get that like 5-week-long winter break. You can't beat it. So congrats to you college kids out there. Also, congrats for being in college. Best 4 years of your life, or 5.
By the way, how you feeling? You feeling from your travels?
Yeah, maybe coming down with a little something.
Oh, you told me you touch a lot of people. I asked you if somebody touched you. You said you touch a lot. That's kind of scary.
I'm an impactful guy, Buck. Yeah. I touch a lot of people out there. And I don't know. I mean, I got back 5 days ago on the 1st. So I guess it's a possibility that it was travel related, but it could just be weather or allergy related here. I don't know. It's not too bad. Last night wasn't feeling great. This morning, not feeling great. I'll rub some dirt on it, sleep it off. We'll be.
Yeah, I kind of always know what it is that makes me, because I'll never have the flu, but I can get the common cold, and I've not had that since I haven't been sick since COVID. Once again, I'm on a pretty good streak right now. I'm not even having a cold.
Let's keep that going. Yeah, stay away from me then.
The deal is, when I got sick, I remember being in DFW, and somebody sneezed in their hands and put their hand on the rail going up, the little monorail deal. Mm-hmm. And I went right up the rail and had my hand on it because I'm old and I like to have my balance. I stuck my hand on that same rail. I know it goes over and over and over or whatever, but that thing slid from that person right on down to me, and my hand's still on it.
Oh, that's great.
When you're in airports, you got to wash your hands all the time. Yeah.
All the time. Yep.
Yeah.
It's every hand sanitizer station they have, you got to use.
Yeah. And I would suggest that may be my tip tomorrow for kids. Wash your filthy hands again. Let's go. Let's not all of a sudden stop doing that.
That's a good one.
it's time to start. It is kind of start time to wash your filthy hands again. I mean, I'm going into HEB and mom's got kids and they're picking their nose and I'm like, come on. Then touching the fruit. I mean, really.
As long as you don't live at my place, because the water was shut off for 12 more hours yesterday.
What are they doing there? You guys got some bad pipes going on.
Yeah, I got to start laying some more pipes, I guess.
You need to talk to them about that. That's over the last couple of months you've had a shutdown, right?
It's terrible. I mean, I've lived at probably 10 apartment complexes in my life, and this one has had 10 times the amount of water issues that anyone else has had. Yeah. So it's back on, thankfully. So we're okay.
Good.
All right, let's talk some Texas football, shall we? Yesterday, the Longhorns picked up a commitment from the transfer portal, landing former Michigan State tight end Michael Mashup. Of course, Jack Hendries announced that he was departing for the NFL draft over the weekend, so the Longhorns were in need of a tight end. They may be looking for another tight end, but they did pick up a commitment from Mashup yesterday. 6'5", about 260 pounds. Spent 3 years at Michigan State. 19 catches, 232 yards, and 3 touchdowns this past year. Not super gaudy statistics, but Buck, he's not being brought in here to be what Jack Hendries was and be a big-time pass catcher. This guy is an old-school, inline blocking tight end. He's going to get nasty. He's going to get physical. And, Steve Sarkisian loves 12 personnel. 1 back, 2 tight ends.
Yes.
He couldn't really run that this year because Texas didn't have any tight ends who can block. So it was a big priority for Steve Sarkisian to try to find at least one more tight end who he felt good about as a blocker. But Mashup also gives you a little something in the passing game as well. So this is not the highest rated transfer that Texas will bring in, but a guy who fills a very important role for this team in 2026.
I mean, he's a veteran player with experience.
Right. Yeah, 3 years at Michigan State, and this past year, 2025, was by far and away his most productive, and he played more this season than he did in his first 2 years. But yeah, Big Ten experience, and a guy who I think 96% of his snaps this year were on the line of scrimmage. So you think nowadays you see a lot of tight ends flexed out to try to get those one-on-one matchups in the passing game. That's not really what Michael Mashup is about. He is, again, you just put him in a 3-point stance and, he can help with run blocking, but also he can help with pass blocking too. Like that's something that Steve Sarkisian and so many other offensive coaches like to incorporate, right? Those max protect plays where
they don't want to bring a tackle in. They don't want to show you that what they're doing. They want their tight end to be able to handle some guys. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that's, there are a bunch of teams around the country that have 6 or 7 offensive linemen on the field at the same time to help with blocking. Sure. Now, last year, Texas didn't have 5 offensive linemen that were good enough to block, and they didn't have any tight ends who could block all that well. And yeah, this guy is going to help with your run blocking. He's going to help with your pass blocking to, give Arch Manning some more time on those longer developing routes down the field. And again, 19 catches, 3 receiving touchdowns this past year. He gives you a little spunk in the passing game too.
It may help you in the scoring zone. Doesn't hurt you to have a guy like that who can run, block, and get it loose down the middle a little bit. What's the bad news? Who left?
Well, Jack Hendries is the guy who left.
None of the young guys decided since they went out and got another guy that I need to get out of here.
No, that hasn't happened yet. And I call Jack Hendries a big-time pass catcher. I mean, he had 56 catches at Cal 2 years ago. He was brought in to be a big-time pass catcher.
Right.
He wasn't brought in to block.
They didn't find out he was actually playing on the team until 3 games left in the season.
Right. Yeah, no, it wasn't the year we wanted Jack Hendries to have, and I would have loved for him to come back, but he's off to the NFL, so that ship has sailed. But yeah, like Jack Hendries had 33 catches for 346 yards this season. I don't think Michael Mashup is going to put up those numbers. Just letting you know right now. That's not what he's being brought in to do. And think of Spencer Shannon, who is a blocking first tight end. I thought Spencer Shannon had a really good game against Michigan last week. But Spencer Shannon, Buck, he had 0 targets this year. So anytime that guy was on the field, opposing defenses knew he wasn't going to be a threat on offense. It's like that guy's in the block. We don't have to worry about him. We don't have to game plan for him. He is just there to block. With Mashup, there's at least that threat of, no, we got to pay attention to this guy because he could leak out into the flat and catch a pass and turn it upfield and go for a few yards.
Yeah, hopefully he's not like they use with Jack Hendry. He's not your screen guy that you dump the ball off to a 260-pound guy like that. Now some middle screens maybe if you need 7 yards.
Yeah, he's one of those like, oh shit, you want to keep a defense honest? Hey, that guy can actually do something.
Yes.
But yeah, you're not game planning your passing game around Michael Masunas. That's just not the type of player that he is.
No, I just like the fact that they went out and got another veteran tight end. That's fine.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, and I'm not sure if they're done, right? Like I could see Texas going out and trying to get more of a pass catching threat at tight end. Because
then I see some people packing their bags. Then,
well, maybe, and it goes back to the whole debate of when now are you trying to be in 2026?
Well, you are definitely win in 2026. You got to make every effort you can to do that.
So yeah, the combination of Jordan Washington, Spencer Shannon, Nick Townsend, and Amari Winston, those guys combined for 11 catches.
Holy shit, I've never seen a place that has more tight ends and wide receivers. Well, they got more tight ends and running backs, that's for sure.
We've become the Chicago Bears here.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I guess like I can't dunk on the Bears anymore because they're pretty good, but we become like the Bears from before Ben Johnson got there, where we just stockpile tight ends who aren't all that good.
Yeah, they had like 6 guys. I'm like, who is that guy? They didn't get any receivers, but they kept bringing in tight ends.
They just load up on the tight ends in Bear country, and that's what Texas is doing. So, look, I think there's some bright futures for those guys. Like Nick Townsend is a guy I'm really excited about. We've talked about him a lot. Again, he was not an early enrollee last year, so he was a bit behind the 8 ball because he wasn't there for spring practice.
Sure.
Had to learn the offense, and I think he was a step behind because of that. I think he's the most talented of those younger tight ends, but he had 2 catches this season. So is the coaching staff ready in a must-win year, Arch Manning's likely final year on the 40 acres, to say, yeah, he's our number 1 pass-catching threat at tight end a year after 2 receptions?
Man, yeah, that's kind of tough. Yeah.
That's the scary part right there. So do you trust the combination of all of those young guys, your favorite player, hammer hands, Jordan Washington, like 7 catches this year, but also I think 17 drops. Do you trust that dude to take the next step, or are you looking for another reinforcement in the portal?
Well, I like I said, I wish they had a tight ends coach, but the tight ends coach is also the special teams coach, and there's enough duties there. We know that in the special teams. So that's just, I don't know. Sort of the year before, I mean, they already had a self-made tight end. I don't think Banks helped out the dude that ended up with the Titans catch all these passes. I think he was just a self-made guy. We saw him the year before that when we thought he would come into his own. So now I'm thinking, I don't know. These guys need to be coached. The ones that are there now, hammer hands and all of that. That scares me because that guy's very involved with working with special teams. But I don't know how you have it. You can only have so many coaches.
Right. Yeah, and it's funny. Like, Jack Andrews was at Cal in 24, and it's like, well, surely he's getting better quarterback play at Texas in 25, but his quarterback at Cal ended up winning the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, that's right. Think about that.
No, he actually had some pretty good quarterback play the year before, and Arch Manning Arch Manning was awesome down the stretch. I mean, his last 8 games were just.
Well, he wasn't really. They talked about him being part of. They never really talked about him being part of the game plan. That's the thing. And we only saw him in like the last four games do anything that they made it look like he was part of the game plan. He really never. Sark never said, "Oh, we want to use the tight end, and here's what we're going to do." He never said that. He was busy talking about his wide receivers that couldn't catch.
Right. And it's interesting. I guess it's worth bringing up, and a difference between this offseason and last. Jack Andrews was another guy who was not here for the spring. Remember last year you had 2 transfer portal windows. He was one of the post-spring portal guys. So that maybe had him behind the 8 ball a little bit. And I mean, we're beating a dead horse because Jack Andrews is gone. But this year, just 1 portal window. So Masunis and any potential other tight end, and obviously a Cam Coleman or somebody else, all those guys are going to be here for winter workouts, and more importantly,
well, who cares if Masunis is on the field a lot and he's the best of the blockers and the best of the catchers? That's what you're looking for. It's not like you don't need a better blocker at the tight end position either. You could always use that. A kid that played in the Big Ten with the experience that he has, why not?
Right.
This team can use all the blocking can you get.
And again, like for me, the biggest, I think for you, knowing you as long as I have, the biggest priority for Texas this offseason is fixing the run game.
Yes.
So you're telling me this guy could come in and help you fix the run game. Okay. I'm all for it. It's Michael Masut. Like, you're not paying this guy $1 million to be here. You're giving him probably a small 6 figs, and you're saying, hey, man, come fix our blocking game, and we'll give you a couple of catches, and you get to graduate from the University of Texas. Congratulations.
Yes.
Like, this is a low risk.
And here's the quarterback you have going into your last year.
Right. That helps too. So it's all about finding a way to get this run game going. And look, we talked about it. I couldn't stand when Texas went heavy personnel. I couldn't stand when they had 2 tight ends on the field because those guys weren't good. Like, the receivers were so much better. Obviously, if you have an extra tight end on the field, that means you have 1 fewer wide receiver on the field. And it's like, oh, put Livingston or Moore out there instead of Hammer Hands because that guy can't catch.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know how much Sark wants to do 12 personnel not just at Texas. Every year he's been an offensive mind. He's wanted that to be a staple of what he does. And this past year, he just couldn't do it because his tight ends weren't good enough.
Yeah, well, he's going to have a veteran, and then he's going to have a couple, very similar to he had last year, a veteran, but some young guys still that have to be developed. Or hell, you don't need 3 or 4 of those guys that are young, but they're not going to be anything. I mean, what are you going to spend 4 years developing one guy for the final year? I don't think so. I mean, those guys have to get good in a hurry. This spring is an important year, important spring for all of those young tight ends.
Yeah, definitely. It is. And again, I'm not sure. I haven't heard to this point any actual names of other tight ends that Texas is going after. I've just heard speculation that the Longhorns could be going after one more. But obviously, they've got a number of bigger needs to fill right now.
Yeah, but when you can get one, like I said, good tight ends are we've seen them come out of college ranks and get into the NFL and look fantastic in their first couple of years. I mean, if you find one of those, Montana State, how that happens, North Dakota State guys all of a sudden show up and they are fabulous. You hit on one of those guys, that's a big deal in your passing game. Yeah. It's huge in your passing game, especially if you don't get that top-notch receiver that you're looking for. Your tight end's got to come up with 40-some catches somehow,
It'd be nice. Yeah. And again, Nick Townsend is the most likely of everybody that's in that room right now.
Well, he moves. He has the lateral movement and the quickness like a big tight end would. Like Hammer Hands looks like a guy who just needs to be on the end of the line. Half tight end, half tackle.
Hammer Hands, no disrespect to him, I don't think this is his fault. I think this is the school's fault. Hammer Hands needs to be on Jenny Craig this offseason.
Yeah, he got too big too quick.
Sorry to hit you with this morning. But he looked.
Me, Jay. That wasn't me.
I know. No, I'll take the blame for that one. And again, I'm not blaming the kid. I think like they told him to put on a lot of weight. They wanted him to put on that weight, and he looked slow and he couldn't block. What's the point of putting on all that weight if you can't block? To me, he made himself less effective as a receiver, and he didn't do anything as a blocker. So I don't know if I want Jordan Washington playing at 260 next year.
Hey, go ahead and bulk Michael Terry. Go ahead and bulk that dude up. He's got 50 different positions he plays.
Maybe he could be there, right? Maybe that's the long-term plan for him. And then for Nick Townsend,
he'd have to be the passing guy. That guy wouldn't be able to block anybody.
No, considering he was a running back and a receiver in high school.
They'd run right through him. Plus, he'd have to be at least, 235, 240. What is he? He was weighing like 212 or something like that.
I think around 215 is where.
That's a lot of weight to throw on yourself here in a matter of months.
That is, yeah.
But he plays every other position. I mean, they got him as the king of every position. So
I don't know what Michael Terry's future is. I mean, 5-star athlete out of high school. I'd like for them to find a future for
If they
him.
need a running back, they can go ahead and give that one up.
Yeah, that one carry he had against Michigan.
Folded up like an accordion.
It was one carry, but it did leave a little bit to be desired for sure.
Yeah. That's you got to go ahead and find a spot for a kid like that. Even if he's going to be your special, if he's going to be your fullback type, then he can put on a couple more pounds and be that straight line blocker. If you want to just line up offset eye and let's go downhill at some times where you're not trying to trick them and just saying, hey, we got a pretty good left side over here. My tackle's coming back. The left side of the line is okay. Let's just take this guy. We can put him in motion and we can send him in counter plays to cut off guys. Well, hell, Jack Injuries was doing that. He was the guy who was cutting off backside blocks.
Yeah.
And getting mauled a lot of times. So this kid will be big enough to do that type of thing. Then every once in a while, you give him a bone. Here's a carry here or there. It's not a big game. Here's a carry. You get 2 yards. You fall down forward. Okay, thanks a lot. Now get your face back in there blocking. But you can't keep looking for spots for him. You can't spend, this year he's that, next year he's that, the next year he's that. Find a spot and give him some specialized plays you can make. If he's a running back and you think he's a running back, you ought to be able to catch. He must have some ability to slide out in the flat, on those third, when you see the Kansas City Chiefs, what they're going to run. They're going to send the fullback in the flat and they're going to dump it to him for a first down. No matter, even if it's coming. And here it comes.
This is an apples to oranges comparison, and it's probably not worth bringing up.
They send some guys out in the flat. I mean, NFL teams send fullbacks and guys out into the flat.
Sure.
And if you're that kind of an athlete, 5-star, we'll put you somewhere. Then you can run 3 yards and slant to the out and catch a ball in your hands and fall down for a first down. I think
we haven't seen much fullback play in Sark's first 5 years, so I don't think we're all of a sudden going to see that in year 6. Could be wrong. Maybe that's the plan for Michael Terry. Like the last guy, again, apples to oranges here, Buck, but the last guy who couldn't find a position was Ryan Niblett. And then they put him at punt returner, and he was an All-American this year. Now, still doesn't have a huge role on offense or defense, but like some guys are just such good athletes that, okay, carve something out, find a way.
I'm trying to give him a way out right here. I'm giving him a niche.
That's it. Yeah. And maybe it is at running back, right? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. He wasn't recruited as a running back, but he did some of that in high school. So maybe they try him there. Now, that's not going to stop Texas from trying to bring in probably 2 tailbacks from the portal. So he's going to be buried on the depth chart.
Yeah, remember, I was the extra point kicker and field goal kicker in high school too. So think about it with a square toe. With a square toe. I mean, really.
Michael Terry should try kicking.
That's probably going to be next for him.
Right. Yeah.
No, you can find a role. I mean, those are guys you find roles for. This is what you do. And teams see him in the game and they still can't stop him. He gets a one-on-one. Dude, that's all that's a big part of what he can do. But they're not going to line him up there in the gun behind the quarterback or that offset deal with the quarterback and just hand him the ball. He's not that kind of runner.
All right. And again, 2026.
Well, who knows? They got a new running back coach. Maybe he can change the fate of some of these guys.
Maybe. Yeah, I'll be interested to see if Terry stays at running back or if that was a move that was just made in a pinch because, Jarrett Gibson left mid-season and obviously they had a few guys leave before the bowl game. I don't know. We'll find out. But, curious. There's money to be made at tight end. He could maybe flip over to defense. I don't know what the plan is for him. But I hope there is some sort of plan.
Well, they got enough guys that we need to see. We need to see the baseball player get more involved. But what you said, he's not going to be there because his time is getting ready to come to an end.
Right.
With the football stuff again, and he didn't get, he ended up with soft tissue deal when he finally got back to football season. So that wear and tear, there's a lot of baseball games,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, Jonah Williams dealt with some injuries during baseball season last year that obviously leaked into football season too. So
and he may, as much as he wants to be a two-way guy, may end up being a baseball player. I mean, his success may be at that sport.
Maybe. I mean, he is a monster on the football field too. We're talking about a former top 10 football recruit in America. I mean, I watched that guy play at Galveston Ball a couple of times. Like he is a special talent. So he doesn't want to pigeonhole himself. I don't want to pigeonhole him anywhere, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully he can find a way to do both and stay healthy, but that's obviously a big ask when you're
That's a
playing.
lot on his body. Yes, it is.
I mean, he might be the starting center fielder for Jim Schlossnagel's group this
Right.
year. Might be the leadoff hitter for the Texas baseball team this year. And then
Base stealer and everything else.
Right. And then he's not going to be a starting safety, but in a perfect world, he is a big time contributor at safety when we get to the fall. So yeah, he's another one. I mean, there's so many guys from that top ranked 2025 class who just didn't do a whole lot. And it's fine. I mean, Texas had enough talent. You don't close the book on anybody.
Right. No.
You spent a lot of money to get those guys. So you would like to see your investment give you some return. And the hope is that year 2 could be the time when those guys find some sort of role and become key contributors.
That's what I said. When you start talking about the running back coming in here as a freshman, and I know you won't lean on you're thinking, I'm not going to lean on a freshman, dude. If they're good enough, they're old enough.
Oh, here we go, dude.
Hey kids, if you're good enough, you're old enough. That's just the way it goes. This is big time college football, and if you're a 5-star running back and you get to the campus, you ought to be able to push everybody on that campus. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the starter, and you definitely should be pushing the number 2 dude about his gig if you're a 5-star and a great one that everybody wants.
Yeah. Look, I do think Texas has a much better running backs coach with Jabbar Jalouk compared to what they had with Chad Scott. But yeah, I'm a little hesitant in win now years to just say, all right, freshman, you're the guy. But who knows? Maybe Derek Cooper gets to campus and he's the best guy that they have in that room. And
dude, they almost ought to know that now. After and looking at what they have, they ought to know that immediately. They ought to see that guy walking on the field or in winter workouts and know that guy's better than that guy right over there. And that guy over there has already played a bunch of football.
Yeah, we'll see.
But they don't really have a guy that's played a bunch of football at that position. They have guys who's played in games, but he doesn't have a lot of experience. So it shouldn't be that hard if you're a great freshman coming in here.
Yeah, we'll give the latest on Texas's search for a new running back in the transfer portal and just continue the Texas football conversation here in a moment. But before we get to that, how about another round of sponsor shout-outs?
Folks, Relax the Back. I love Relax the Back. I'm sitting in my Relax the Back chair. I'm playing a round of golf today, and I needed to get in this chair because I've been watching sports in the big taco over there for the last 2 weeks. Bad on my part, just too lazy to move this big old chair around, or I need to get some money so I can get a recliner. BK needs to give me some more money so I can buy one of those Relax the Back recliners for my back. And then I don't have to move anything. The recliner's sitting right there. But I love this chair for sitting here doing 2 hours and hanging out with you folks. But at Relax the Back, they have everything that you're looking for, all kinds of accessories that are going to fit whatever is bothering you, whether it's your lumbar, your thoracic, your shoulders, your hips. At the Relax the Back store, they have accessories that will fit anybody, believe me. They got the vibrating ball. They've got it all. Zero gravity recliners, of course, Tempur-Pedic pillows, mattresses, the whole works. You're going to be happier. Your body's going to feel happier also. 2 great locations at the Hill Country Galleria across from Whole Foods, and in North Austin at the Gateway Shopping Center, right across the street from the Container Store. Live pain-free like the Buck at Relax the Back.
Yes, indeed. Love Relax the Back. Love my Relax the Back chair. And check it out, Buck.
Oh, baby. Look at that.
We've got the banana cream OLIPOP.
Being creamed with banana, not just cream, but banana cream?
Banana cream. What do you think this tastes like?
Like a milkshake, like a banana milkshake, probably.
Not like a banana cream pie?
I'm not a banana cream pie guy.
Okay. You are a cream pie guy, correct?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, always have been. All right. So I promised a taste test yesterday. So now we have it today. One of the more than 20 flavors of OLIPOP.
Let's just look at the surprise on your face when it hits your palate.
I've never tried. Haven't tried this one. And look, I don't like all the flavors. I'll be real with y'all, right? Not every flavor is for everybody.
That's right.
One that I do like, and y'all see me drink the stuff all the time. So we'll see. The banana cream OLIPOP going in. Ooh.
Not overwhelming banana taste?
No. Wow. I mean, It really does taste like a banana cream pie.
Nice.
Like, you should add the word pie. Maybe they were just worried about cream pie jokes, so they didn't. This is good. Like, it's not going to be my go-to flavor of OLIPOP. It's not in my top 3 or 5, but, like, this is
Not
solid.
your cherry cola.
If you are a fan of banana cream pie, like, get you one of these. This is good. So shout out to OLIPOP. Again, so many flavors to choose from. Great tasting soda that's actually good for you. The easiest New Year's resolution of all time. Pick some up at HEB, Costco, Whole Foods, Walmart, Target, wherever you buy your groceries. Next time you shop, make sure you shop OLIPOP.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm having to drink more OLIPOP because I am now going to decaf coffee. Yeah,
What?
yeah. Got restrictions of the veins, so you got to be careful. You got to try something different. Get caffeine. I got to lower my caffeine a little bit.
Oh my God, dude, there is no point in drinking decaf.
I know. I did. I started it yesterday, and I got a Starbucks decaf. I could tell the difference, but it doesn't. Like I said, coffee doesn't do anything to me. It doesn't help my bowels. It doesn't stop my bowels. It doesn't stuff my bowels. It doesn't do it. It doesn't keep me awake. It doesn't. If I drink a cup of coffee and I want to go to bed, I'll go to bed and sleep. It just doesn't do. It's just a habit. And so if I'm going to do a habit that could possibly be just a little something and restricting some of my blood flow, then I got to try it. Just decaf with cream, but I can taste the difference.
You can taste the difference?
I can taste the difference in decaf than I can in caffeinated stuff. But it's not going to throw me off. Once again, it's just a habit. That's all it is. There's no benefits to me going to Starbucks and giving them like almost $4 a day. There's really no benefits of that. It doesn't like, hey, I got to have that, or I'll drink a cup of coffee before the show starts. Like, oh, that's going to keep me inspired and ready to go. It doesn't do stuff, any of that stuff for me. I don't feel it like that. All I'm going to do now is, because I'm off the caffeine, is get a bunch of headaches until I get used to doing decaf. I'm going to pay the price for not having that caffeine. I know that'll happen to me.
Dude, there are no benefits to drinking decaf.
None?
I mean, I don't like the taste of coffee. I just drink it because I need the caffeine to get me going. And
it works that way for you.
Yeah, I'm not a morning dude. The first 30 years of my life, I didn't touch coffee. I didn't need it. And then I got a girlfriend and now I need it. I think that's what that's what caused it. But like, I don't like the taste of coffee. I power through it because I need the caffeine. I don't drink it before our show. I drink it at like 10 o'clock. Like, I'm good. I got enough juice in the morning, but I guess working with you tires me out. Nah, I don't know what it is.
That'll do it.
But yeah, decaf, like, dude, I don't think I've ever had decaf in my life. I thought it was supposed to taste the exact same, which is why I'm surprised
it doesn't.
Difference. But I would never touch that, dude. There's no point. Drink OLIPOP if you're not drinking the caffeine. Drink something that tastes better.
Yeah, I have to. If I'm not, that just like, and I put cream in the decaf, so you know what that's like. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know what that's like, actually.
No, I'm not a cowboy. I'm not the cow. I don't drink black coffee, just straight up black coffee. You're talking about a river runs through me. That will go through me. And the stuff from Starbucks, you drink just their regular Pike with no cream in it. Oh my God! So I've given up that. No sweet teas. I went into Verge's yesterday. The guy goes, like a big old iced sweet tea, and I said, sorry, no sweet tea, just a big old thing of water. I drank 60 ounces of water yesterday. Oh my God! I still feel bloated.
Is it worth it, man? I mean, I know you're trying to be healthy, and as you get older, you got to take care of this stuff, but don't you want to go out doing what you love?
I don't want to go out grabbing my heart and rolling around on the ground either, out in the grass.
That's fair. That is fair.
Yeah. Did I tell you, I don't know if I told him, I did take another tumble the other day.
Oh, no.
Well, the dog got in the way, and I went down shoulder first, and the watch went off, and the dog wouldn't let me up.
Oh my God!
He wouldn't let me up. I was trying to roll, because this thing starts making it sound like, "Do you need help? Do you need help?" And you got like 2 minutes, so if you don't give them any movement, so I'm just waving my hands in the air. I'm out in the driveway there with the stones there. I'm not out where the people see me out front, but I'm on the side, and I'm waving my hands to keep the watch going. Let's go. So no EMS shows up. and I'm trying to get the dog, and he's like laying on me. He's like putting his paws on me. I'm like, dude, I got to get up. Please get the hell away from me. So I take a rock and I hit him with a rock.
Oh my God. You hit your dog with a rock?
I hit him with, I said, get out of here, Lou. I threw a stone at him. He took off. And I finally rolled up, and then the watch stopped. So it lets you know that you're okay. I love this watch though. But I tripped messing around with that dog. He's just, damn it. See, the cats, I don't have that problem with the cats. They won't come near you like that. They don't go between your legs. But this big animal, and he gets to go on a walk every day now. My wife walks him.
Oh my gosh.
But she walks him in the dark. She won't walk this dude when there's other people walking their dogs. She's afraid of the attack factor with him, because if he wants to pull her and drag her down the street to get to some other dog, he can. And he knows that.
That is great. You don't trip and fall into some cat. You trip and fall into the dog. It seems.
Yeah. Oh, and he doesn't let you up. What an animal.
That's great. Well, glad you're okay. And
I'm good to go. I'm good to go. Kept my head out of it. Did the the old school hit. Roll that shoulder. Hit on the left shoulder. Don't stick your arm out. Dislocate. Don't break anything. Shoulder's good enough. Your side is good enough. Your hips can take it. I try to tell Tua that. Tua's been pretty good lately, although they're trying to get rid of him now.
Yeah, well, Tua has been healthy, but maybe that's the problem, because he sucks.
Too much ball school, not enough throw school.
It's the Quinn Ewers show in South Beach. Played pretty well his last 3 games of the year.
How did that work last week? What did they get beat by with the Patriots?
A lot.
Yeah.
But Quinn Ewers, I thought, looked pretty good.
But his coach still has a job, right?
His coach still has a job. Yeah, Mike McDaniel is coming back for 2026.
I'm trying to figure out when Sark's name is going to come up for the New York Football Giants job.
I mean, Sark's name, well, Aggies and Sooners put Sark's names up for every job out there.
Yeah.
I saw some Aggie yesterday be like, I've been told that Steve Sarkisian's going to take the Raiders job, and he's trying to convince Arch Manning to go pro so he could draft him with the #1 overall pick.
Ooh, there's one. I didn't hear that.
There's a new.
I don't think he wants to go. He even his crazier mood, he wouldn't do that. I think the Raiders, that's a madhouse.
No, he's not going anywhere. And look, if I was an Aggie or a Sooner fan and I was watching Sark kick my team's ass every year, I would also be doing whatever I could to try to get him out of Austin, Texas. So I don't blame them for feeling that way.
Yeah, but the Dolphins still are keeping that dude.
He's back for another year. Yep.
Oh.
They said he's coming back. There were a bunch of coaches who got fired yesterday, and we'll talk more about them in hour number 2. But we'll see what the Dolphins do. I mean, Tua is not going to return to Miami next season. So
yeah, they owe him. That's a lot of money. That's like 56, almost $60 million on that deal with him.
Right, worth it to get rid of him. There's just no point in keeping a bad quarterback around if you just know he's not good enough. And look at the Broncos, right? They had that god-awful Russell Wilson deal. They got out of it. They paid a lot of money for him to leave, and then a couple years later, they draft Bo Nix. Now they're the #1 seed in the AFC. So you could turn your fortunes around pretty quickly unless Jerry Jones is running your team, even if you're in a tough financial situation like that. So I just wonder if Quinn Ewers is going to get a chance next year, or if Mike McDaniel is like, dog, I'm trying to not get fired. I can't bank on like a 7th rounder going in.
Yeah, dude, I cannot get fired. You're right. And you're absolutely right about I can't bank on a 7th rounder going into maybe my final year. I think that's exactly right. I don't know if he'll do that. He'll end up finding somebody, and with more experience, Quinn Ewers will be the backup to start. But if things get screwy in the first couple of games, he'll have to make a move, because that's his ass then. That's the head coach's deal now.
And Dolphins fans, I mean, I watched a decent amount of Quinn Ewers play, but it was more so on Red Zone and a couple of highlights. But like Dolphins fans on social media, a lot of them were like excited with what they saw from Quinn Ewers, thinking that there's like maybe something there and it's worth seeing if he can be the guy. But I just, again, I don't know.
No, I didn't see much of him. How was he in the pocket? Much better?
Yeah, I mean, he looked comfortable. Like, wasn't taking a lot of shots down the field, a lot of check downs, and maybe that was part of the game plan, or maybe he
got rid of the ball in time, in a hurry. He knew who he's throwing to. He got it to him.
Yeah, I mean, not the gaudiest of numbers, like 66% completion percentage, which is really good. 7.5 yards per attempt, which is okay. 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. One of his interception was off of a receiver's hands. I mean, again, it wasn't like, oh my God, like he's clearly the answer. And we just stumbled into the steal of the draft, but it wasn't like, oh, he looks totally lost out there, and that's why he fell to the 7th round. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, he's going to be on the Dolphins next year. The question is, do they make him the starter, or is he just QB2 because they bring somebody else in who's more proven?
Yeah, I can see the Ravens coach headed to New York. That seems to make more sense with a young quarterback like that. Like when Lamar was good and he was healthy for the first couple of years until he just started to break down because of all of his running. And even when he couldn't throw, Harbaugh survived with that dude. I could see Harbaugh going with Jackson with Dart. And then
To this point, John Harbaugh still has a job in Baltimore. We'll see if that stays the case. Harbaugh's been there for 18 years, so this would be
didn't can his
19th.
ass yet.
Haven't canned him.
Huh.
So 4 coaches did get canned, but John Harbaugh not one of them. But there's plenty of rumors about Harbaugh being gone, and if that guy wants to coach next year, he'll be able to coach next year. He's done more than enough to get a gig, and maybe the Giants look to.
That just seems. I mean, right there, he's right on the East Coast. He's right there. They've seen enough of him.
But the Giants suck, so I don't know why he would take that job. Then again,
they have a quarterback of the future. They have a guy. You got a chance when you have a quarterback. I mean, even my Fight Queens have a chance because they got a young quarterback, and the Giants do have a young quarterback.
JJ McCarthy. Your Vikings are already talking about moving on from JJ McCarthy. You guys don't have a young quarterback. That guy's, I mean, maybe you don't.
He gets hurt too. He's a little fella.
Yeah, he's not very good. Also, that's the bigger issue there. But then again, you look at the jobs that are open right now. Tennessee, the Giants, Cleveland, Atlanta, Arizona, Vegas. Wow. These are all bad franchises that don't win a whole lot. Most of them have bad ownership too. So I don't know if any coach is like chomping at the bit. I get it. There's only 32 openings, so someone will take all of those jobs. That's how it always works. But I don't know if I'm John Harbaugh, I guess I'm hoping I get to stay with Lamar Jackson as my quarterback.
Yeah, so you can have him for 6 games during the year.
Yeah, well, that's fair too. All right, so we'll get into more of that in a little bit, but I do want to talk about the Texas Longhorns search for a new running back.
Nice.
Still no word on Jaden Ball. He has yet to enter the portal. He has also yet to say that he is not entering the portal.
Boy, they must have some kind of package there for him.
It's interesting. Like I talked to 4 people in the last 2 days about this, and 2 of them were like, "Oh, it's a good thing that Jaden Ball hasn't said anything yet." And the other 2 are like, the longer this thing goes, the less likely it is that Texas is able to get him. So I don't know what to believe. I was scavenging some Florida insider sites yesterday, and I read that, new Florida coach John Summerall and their new running backs coach, the guy who replaced Jabbar Jalouk, they are having daily conversations with Jaden Ball and his family to try to convince him to stick around. And obviously Texas, legally can't do that right now because Ball is not in the portal. So
daily conversations. I'm having sleepovers. That's the sleepover time.
You're doing the Jim Harbaugh sleepover.
Oh, hell yeah, that's sleepover times.
Dog, if I'm a college kid and an old white dude is trying to sleep at my place, I am transferring out of there as fast as I can. That would not work for me. I also read that Jaden Ball is kind of monitoring what Florida does in the portal. I mean, they had a bad offensive line this year, just like Texas. Part of the reason why they suck so bad and fired their coach. So they're pretty active looking for offensive linemen in the portal. Maybe Jaden Ball is kind of monitoring to see what they do there.
No doubt.
But yeah, look, for me, I still think Florida has the leg up here. I think they have to at this point. But he could put all of this to bed, Buck. He could have done it yesterday, the day before that. He could do it today and say, I am staying at Florida. He could give the Wolf of Wall Street, I'm not effing leaving speech. And then, all right, Texas has no choice but to move on. So until that happens, I guess there's a glimmer of hope that Ball could be coming. And I think it's Florida or Texas. Like I know for a while, Ohio State was like kind of being talked about, and Georgia was kind of being talked about. I think this is a 2-horse race between Florida and Texas. And, the question is, I mean, Texas is having back channel conversations with his agent. Like, does Texas make Jaden Ball an offer that he can't refuse? Because that may be what this thing is coming down to. So how desperate is Texas to go get Jaden Ball? Are they willing to just say, hey, yeah, we know Florida's offering you this, but we're going to do that?
Well, Texas, like everybody else, has other needs also. But this truly is a huge need when you have a quarterback like you have. You got to go have a running game to go along with it. But you have to have some offensive linemen to go along with that. And if you spend all your money on that running back and you bring back the same sluggos, I'd be fine. I'd be fine with that.
Well,
that guy can make that happen for another yard and a half, even if you brought back the same sluggos.
No, you have to bring in portal offensive linemen.
I'm just saying that guy can make it happen behind a group that kind of did get better as the season went on at the end.
Well, yeah, but you're losing.
You're not trying to get a little bit better. You're trying to get to a national championship game.
Yeah, that, but also you're losing DJ Campbell, who was one of your more solid offensive linemen this year, and you're losing
great. He wasn't great.
No, of course he wasn't great, but I mean he wasn't horrible. He wasn't the worst guy you had there. You're losing Cole Hudson, who was your best left guard. He was not great at all. I don't know if he was even that good, but you're losing him too. So you can't just run it back with the same guys that you have because they're not all eligible to return anyways. But yeah, paying Jaden Ball and not paying offensive linemen to transfer here is.
Well, I'm not saying not pay any offensive linemen. I mean, you
just said like run it back with what you have. No.
Well, I mean, if you have some guys that you can plug and play in there, but you're still going to have to go out and get at least 2 guys.
Okay, yeah,
2 guys.
We're in agreement.
Give me 2 guys, but you're not going to. I don't know if you're going to be paying $800,000, $1 million for just. I mean, what kind of you got to get a quality offensive lineman for that kind of money.
Yeah, you're not paying that much for a guard. Like that's
right.
Just not the going rate for that position. So, yeah, I mean, look, paying Jaden Ball and not addressing the offensive line is like buying a Ferrari when you live in a trailer park. It's just like, what are you doing? So they've got to get offensive linemen too. The problem is, and Texas isn't the only team dealing with this right now, but because Texas is going after Cam Coleman, who's the top player in the portal, who's going to command probably more money than any non-quarterback this offseason. And Jaden Ball, who, is not in the portal at all, but he would command a hefty chunk of money more than any other running back if he decided to enter. Like Texas is almost being held hostage right now by those guys. Because, look, if Texas gets Cam Coleman, that's $2.5 million they can't spend on anybody else.
True.
If Cam Coleman's not coming to Texas, the best thing that could ever happen to Texas is if Cam Coleman in 2 minutes says that he's going to Alabama or somewhere else, right? So then Texas knows, all right, we now have $2.5, $3 million, whatever our offer was to Cam Coleman to play with to go get some other guys. The problem with what's happening is you literally have no idea what you can spend on because you have a finite amount of money. And until you know what your biggest fish are going to do.
Does anybody know if those guys have the same kind of agent? Because those two bargaining chips right there are huge. I wonder if they have the same representation.
I don't think they do. I do know, Cam Coleman, I think his agent lives in Texas. And I think there's a strong belief that Cam Coleman's going to end up in the state of Texas, right? Apparently USC is out. USC was a team linked to Cam Coleman. Apparently, I don't know if Coleman told them no, but I read overnight that SC is no longer an option there. Alabama is trying to get a visit on the books. To this point, Cam Coleman has been to Austin and College Station. And I know the Your Markers, the Texters out in Lubbock, they are also in on Cam Coleman. And I think they've got a visit scheduled sometime this week. So it may be a 3-horse race between those 3 Texas teams right now. But yeah, I mean, you don't know what you can spend on because that's clearly the guy Texas wants the most, and they got to save the money for him.
Yeah.
Remember, some jabronis out there said Texas told Parker Livingston to leave because they had to pay Cam Coleman. It's not true, but they are going hard after Cam Coleman. That is very true.
Yeah,
So
but you got to start, as time goes on, you're going to have to, you can wait, but how long can you wait?
exactly. That's the tough part. And to me, Jaden Ball is a bigger priority than Cam Coleman. Like Texas, they can have Ryan Wingo, Emmett Mosley, and bring in solid receiver from the portal, plus the
Sure.
young guys that they have going into year two. That's still going to be a very good wide receiver room. The running back room as it stands is like, I don't know what you have. I think Derek Cooper could be great. I liked what Christian Clark did in the Cheez-It Bowl, but you got to find a running back.
We're talking about a group that gets hurt whenever they just take the practice field. That's that you're missing. You start missing guys there. Hell, then you can't. Then you can't afford to have anybody hurt.
Right.
You have to go through a spring and a summer practice without getting anybody hurt. That doesn't sound right. That's going to happen.
Yeah. I think Texas is getting 2 running backs either way.
Yes.
Like you said, they need bodies. But like Jaden Ball, I don't think Jaden Ball would be as expensive as Cam Coleman, but I don't think they'd be too far off.
No.
Like, again, Ball's not in the portal, so until he enters, none of this really matters. But if I had to pick one of those 2 guys to have on Texas's roster this fall, it would be Jaden Ball.
Yes.
But again, they can't, they're clearly waiting.
I understand why. When I said that, I don't mean you can neglect the offensive line. You have to. You've got to find a right tackle. You got to find a left guard, but they don't have to be the greatest in the world. They just have to be able to get in front of people and do some things. They just can't pass out after the ball is snapped. They can't fall asleep or cross the street when they're told not to cross the street.
Right.
Or they need to learn to snap count, things like that,
Yeah. No, they need upgrades on the offensive line. And I think they're okay at right tackle with Brandon Baker, but
what they can't do is, if it doesn't happen, they can't try to tell us, oh, we're okay. Here's the young guys that we brought in. Here's what we're going to do. No. I won't fall for that from the head coach or the offensive line coach. So get ready. If you don't get the quality of guys, if you just get somebody from down the road that doesn't have a bunch of experience and they're just looking for a couple bodies and they don't go spend some money on some decent guys, don't buy that. I'm not going to buy that, oh, we have people in the program. We just need to coach them up. I'm not buying that one.
No, nobody is. They tried that last year and it didn't work.
They did.
Like they bet on themselves. Texas brought in no running backs and no offensive linemen in the portal last year.
Correct.
And that was the worst part of the Texas offense. They bet on themselves. They thought, hey, we could lose Jaden Blue and we could lose 4 starters on the offensive line and everything's going to be all right. Bob Marley, 3 little birds. Not the case at all. So they're not going to be allowed to do that this year and just say, nah, you know what? We trust Kyle Flood to develop our guys in-house.
Oh, God, no.
And, we trust that our running game is perfectly fine with Christian Clark and Derek Cooper and James Simon. That's not going to fly.
Shit, I forgot. That's right. It's not just Derek Cooper. There is not another veteran back in that backfield.
Well, Christian Clark is the closest thing you have.
That's what I'm saying. After him, you go to Cooper, then you go to a guy who is just going to be a sophomore, a freshman, a sophomore. And what is Clark? Just a sophomore himself?
Clark will be a redshirt sophomore.
Wow.
James Simon will be a redshirt freshman. He didn't play in enough games to lose his redshirt. So
that's for sure. We never saw him.
And then you've got Derek Cooper, who will be a true freshman. Jet Walker, who will be a true freshman.
Okay.
And again, Michael Terry, Ryan Niblett, if those guys are in there, you've got them as well.
There's always Ryan Niblett. That's right. You can always fall back on that one.
There's always Ryan Niblett right there.
Yeah, always Ryan Niblett.
Yeah, don't forget. There's always money in the banana stand, as they say in Arrested Development. There's always Ryan Niblett, as you say, in the Texas running back room.
Yeah, it's important. That offensive line stuff is way more important than I'm making it seem like, Yeah, I know you need that running back, but you need to have that offensive line.
Your running back is super important, but the most important person on your team is Arch Manning.
Yeah, and you can't afford to get him knocked out.
I would like Arch Manning to play in 15 or 16 games next year.
Yes, for sure.
And having an offensive line that keeps him upright and allows him to do that, that is very, very important.
No doubt.
All right. We'll get back into this. Again, a couple more running back names to know. We'll get you that, plus some updates on a few more visitors on campus. Got some NFL to talk about. We got some Texas basketball to get into as the Longhorns are back in action this evening. But before we dive deep into hour number 2, how about a few more sponsor shout-outs?
Shout out our friends over at Sue Patrick, of course, with the incredible selection of Texas Longhorn apparel, which I've got on today, collectibles, accessories. They've got everything you need. Tons of Texas-themed items and books and gifts. You name it, a wide variety of men's and women's clothing, hats, caps, polos. They've got everything that you're looking for at Sue Patrick, of course. And they've got the wonderful books there. Admiral William McCraven's books. I'm done. I've done all 3.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. I'm done. Yes, all 3 of his books so far. I've read everyone except for the children's book. And that one will take me at least a year to get to. Sort of like the Cat in the Hat. So, but I want to thank Jay for getting me those books. I love those books. Great, great books by Admiral William McCraven for sure. Sue Patrick offers free shipping on online orders of $59 or more. Free curbside pickups, of course. 5222 Burnett Road is the location, and plenty of parking right there at their facility, folks. You don't have to go blocks and blocks. It's right there for everything that you need. All your Longhorn needs at Sue Patrick's. Go to SuePatrick.com for more information.
Yes, indeed. Love Sue Patrick. Also love our guy Tom McKay over at Audiovisual Consultations. How about a word from the crew at AVC?
Hi, this is Tom McKay, owner of Audiovisual Consultations. We've been providing custom electronic systems for Central Texas for more than 36 years. And
old man, I think they all know who you are and what your company does. This is Camilla McKay. The old man believes in big fun and big ideas. He can make dreams come true, so why not dream big? I've been up in Boston, but I know the old man and all his friends and fellow radio heads have been spreading the holiday spirit here in Texas. Why should we stop there? Keep spreading the good feelings all over. Audiovisual Consultations carries all major brands of televisions and stereo equipment at prices you can't find in stores. And you don't have to leave your house. Just like Santa, they deliver the gifts to you.
Yeah, I like that, kid. Throw a party, hang out with your friends, catch a concert.
That's all fun and good, but can we get back to the business? You can give us a call at 512-255-8678 or visit our website at avconsultations.com for some cool electronics.
Oh, now you're forgetting something.
And as always, hug your kids. We only pretend to be annoyed. Watch some games with your friends and make love to whoever the hell you want.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Loving that. Be checking out my big screen. Looking forward to the Masters and the golf season as I lower my golf scores this year. Also, our friends at Woods Comfort Systems, folks. Going to rain on Friday, BK, not Thursday. Rain's coming on Friday.
Okay.
We're going to push it back a day a little bit. But it's going to be beautiful weather throughout the remainder of this week, folks. That air conditioner is going to crank on, and you want it to crank on properly. You don't want to have to be like BK calling up for assistance every couple hours. I need water. I need air. I need heat. I need plumbing. You can get it all done at Woods Comfort Systems, folks. Their technicians will come out. They come to my house twice a year. Love what they do. And I'm all set for no matter what happens. If it turned winter tomorrow, my heater would crank on with no problems, thanks to the great folks at Woods Comfort Systems. They've been doing it for close to 70 years in Central Texas, and nobody does it better.
Nobody does it better. You're right. WoodsComfortSystems.com, or give them a call, 512-842-5066. And speaking of nobody doing it better, nobody makes beer better than Altstadt.
Yeah, there you go.
The Altstadt Brewery down there in Fredericksburg, right in the heart of the beautiful Central Texas Hill Country. They're brewing up incredible beers each and every day, and they're available all over the Lone Star State. It's my choice of beer. It's the only beer that I drink these days. If I go to a place and they don't have Altstadt, I'm either leaving or really I'm switching to liquor. But I'm not drinking other bad beer, man. I'm just not doing it. There's too much bad beer out there. Altstadt is incredible. It is a German-style beer brewed right here in our own backyard. They've got an award-winning lager. They've got an award-winning Kolsch. They've got a Hefeweizen. They've got a great light beer if you're trying to cut down on the calories in the new year. They've got tons of seasonal brews as well. Something for every beer drinker out there. Telling y'all, one sip and you will not go back to the other beers that you have been drinking in the past. Get you some any liquor store, any grocery store around Texas, or at any bar or restaurant. It is Altstadt Beer. No impurities, no regrets.
Or somebody's saying Cooper runs like Adrian Peterson. That sounds like, is he a big dude?
I mean,
we got a 6 foot high. Do we have at least 6 foot on him? At least 220?
Derek Cooper, 6'2", 205.
Oh my.
Is what I'm seeing right now for the
6'2", 205.
And weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big, tall drink of water for a running back.
6th ranked running back in the country in this class of 2026. And look, there's high hopes and expectations for him when he gets to Texas.
That's
So
awesome.
we will see what type of role he has in his first year. And I mean, my God, if the guy's 80% of what Adrian Peterson was, then we got something special here. Adrian Peterson, remember, AD, as they call him, chose to go to Oklahoma over Texas because he wanted to win a national championship. And while he was at Oklahoma, which school won a national championship, Buck?
Yeah, it's not like Texas won that national
It'd
championship.
be Texas who won the national championship there. So,
Yeah, I never had a running back over 6 foot tall.
Really?
Dude, no, I've never. Well, I coached about a kid about 6'1" at Illinois from Racine, Wisconsin.
There you go.
Yeah, he was a long drink of water. He was a long strider, you know. In between the tackles, it took him a while to get going, but once he got outside, once he got on the perimeter, he had those long strides, so he at least could fall down for 3 yards.
Right.
He wasn't a great one. He had great hands, though. Boy, could he catch out of the backfield.
Maybe that's Derek Cooper then. He's going to always fall forward for 3 yards every time he touches
Nothing wrong with that.
No, I'll take that because it felt like C.J. Baxter was falling backwards for 3 yards every time he got hit at the end of his Texas career. Sorry about that, C.J. By the way,
where's he at now? Where's he at?
C.J. Baxter, I don't think has committed anywhere.
North Carolina A&T?
No. Trey Wisner did commit to Florida State yesterday. We talked about him taking a visit there, and he gave a verbal commitment to the Cinnamon Rolls yesterday afternoon. So best of luck to Quintravion Wisner.
That is all. That has to be all about money.
Yeah, I guess.
What else could it be?
Right. No, you're probably right. I mean, playing time too. Like, I would assume. I don't know Florida State's running back situation off the top of my head, but I assume Trey Wisner is brought in there to be the number one running back. And we were talking about Texas going out and getting somebody to play ahead of Trey Wisner here.
Which is kind of weird because it's a school like Florida State can't find a runner in the state of Florida.
School like Florida State can't find money right now. They're poor. Otherwise, they would have fired their coach, Mike Norvell. But, we'll see. It's Florida State. A couple years ago, they almost made the playoff, Buck. They were undefeated, won the ACC.
And then the year right after, all that good stuff.
Yeah, the years around that have not been very good under Mike Norvell. But I don't know. There's worse places Trey Wisner could have ended up.
The weather will be fine.
God, Florida State, 10-3 in 2022, 13-1. They were 13-0 until the bowl game in 23, and then 2-10 in 24 and 5-7. So hey, 3-win increase in 2025. Buck, they're on the right track.
You're talking about taking a dive,
nosedive. Yeah, hard nosedive right there off the top diving board. So that's where Trey Wisner is ending up. But a name for Texas fans to know, and I'm sure most of y'all have heard this name at some point over the last couple of days. We talked about him briefly during yesterday's show. Raleek Brown, transfer from Arizona State. He is set to visit Texas tomorrow. Actually, Jabbar Jalouk, the Longhorns' new running backs coach, has an in-home visit with Raleek Brown today, and then Brown is making his way to campus tomorrow. So clearly some mutual interest there if a Texas staffer is going there and he's coming here in the span of 2 days. Raleek Brown, just over 1,100 yards this past season, 4 rushing touchdowns on 6.1 yards per carry. Also had 34 catches and a couple of receiving scores as well. Played 4 years of college football. Started his career at USC. Spent 2 years there. Spent his last 2 years at Arizona State. The biggest question, I guess, with Raleek Brown is he's dealt with some injuries in his past. Like 2 of his 4 years of college football have been riddled with injuries to where he only played in 2 games in 2023.
Hey, sending you an old war horse here or what?
I don't know. And 2 games in 2024. Now, in 2025, again, stayed healthy, over 1,100 yards in the Big 12, which I guess is technically still a Power 4 conference. So he's, high recruit, going to USC out of high school. He's got experience, played at a high level. He's put up some good numbers when he's been able to stay on the field.
Yeah, should know how to protect himself.
That's the hope. And 1 year it was a hammy injury, and 1 year it was a foot injury.
Oh.
So, I guess not a ton of surgeries for Raleek Brown, which is a good thing. 5'9", 195. He's got some speed. He's got some home run ability. And again, he gives you a little bit in the passing game too. So I wouldn't be opposed to Texas bringing him in. But, I mean, I won't lie to you and tell you he's on the same level of Jaden Ball or Isaac Brown, the Louisville kid who decided to stay at Louisville.
Yeah, I'm not a hammy guy. I'm not a hammy with running backs.
Well, it was
asked a lot of those guys. A hammy and a foot.
Right.
You gotta be careful with that. So, but they need somebody. It's chancy, but you got to have somebody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to not be the strong believer in Christian Clark. No matter what I saw the other day, I just still didn't see enough to think that guy is a number one. He's a nice number two that can help you out and spell somebody for a game if somebody went down. But I can't get to the national championship with him being my starting halfback.
Yeah, it's a scary thought going into the year with that as your plan, right?
Yeah, I mean, plus you got a whole spring for him again.
Sure.
Once again, he had an injury that, dude, just for him to be on the field last year was kind of amazing. And, maybe missing some of that quickness, which I think I saw between the tackles, but I did see some holes that were there in that game. He didn't have to make the holes. They did a good job blocking. They schemed Michigan up pretty good, this Texas offensive line. And Sark's game plan and Coach Flood's game plan in the run game was pretty good. They had some holes.
Sure. But he made some plays. He made some guys miss.
One of his first carries around the corner, he got outside on his own. He has pretty good speed. I don't know if he's got breakaway speed.
Yeah. Yeah, look, is there a chance Christian Clark develops into a number one? Absolutely. But again, I don't think Texas plans on banking on that happening. It's
By the way, he may end up falling to be your number one.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's why they're planning on spending a bunch of money on a running back from the portal. It's why they're having Raleek Brown visit and why they're visiting him. It's why they are interested in Jaden Ball. It's why they're interested in other guys. They felt like they had a true number one. They wouldn't be. I mean, they didn't feel like they had a true number one with Trey Wisner. It's why they let him go.
That's true.
So they think that they need somebody better in the portal. And look, Raleek Brown, I'm talking about a red flag with him. He's better than anybody Texas had running the football in 2025.
Yes.
I think by a pretty significant margin. So he would be an instant upgrade over what you had this past year. So again, not my top choice, not the highest rated running back in the portal. I think he's like fifth. I think according to On3, he's the third ranked running back. And according to 24/7, he's the fifth ranked running back. So, flavor of the month, choose your insider site there. So not the highest ranked guy out there, but again, a guy with major college football experience going into his fifth year of college ball. And he's coming off of an 1,100-yard season in Tempe.
Yeah, I just don't. I hope I don't kick myself in my own ass by saying, in the fourth game of the season, saying, "Boy, I wish Trey Wisner was still back here."
Boy, I'd be very surprised if you, of all people, were saying that.
I'm just saying that. I mean, sometimes you want something, you wanted a position and a player so bad, and the guy that you had all of a sudden doesn't look as bad as you thought they looked.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we'll be saying that. And again, if Trey Wisner ended up at like Georgia or Alabama or Ohio State, which was never going to happen, I just don't think he's that level of back.
Because they're that smart at those places too.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe that's part of it.
Yeah, I mean, they can see.
I'd be nervous. I think Mike Norvell is a terrible coach. I think Florida State's not good. So I don't think Trey Wisner is about to go for like 1,200 yards. And I don't think Florida State's going to be better than Texas next year to where we're like, oh my God, we made a ginormous mistake letting Wisner walk. So,
well, first of all, I can't, you'd have to really, you'd almost have to be brain dead to think that you could give him that kind of money. You can't.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Raleek Brown's asking for $1 million too, maybe upwards of that. So again, I think Raleek Brown's a better player than Trey Wisner is. So I think you'd be willing to give him. If the money's the same, I think you'd lean him over Quintravion. But I've been told it's $1 million, maybe closer to $1.5 million that he's looking for. Now, doesn't mean you have to give it to him, but if somebody is willing to give it to him and that somebody is not you, then he ain't
Yes.
going to you.
He ain't going to you.
Yeah, Raleek Brown may be an NFL guy, but like he's one of those dudes that I think, and I don't blame anybody for doing this with the current landscape that we have, he's like, man, I'm going into my final year of eligibility. It might be my last year of playing football ever.
Yeah, I don't know with hamstrings and foot injuries how my career is going to be. I need that money in the bank.
And I would like to make that money. Now, also, I'm sure he's like, well, if I go to Texas and have a 1,200-yard year, then I'm going to be drafted and my football career is playing. So hopefully that's in the back of his mind too. But it's also, like, where can I go get paid?
It's an all-encompassing thing for these guys at all the positions we're talking about because of the quarterback. The quarterback can make you money. This guy's good enough to make you look – he can make you look good because of the fear factor with him. He's going to help out any running back. He's still going to help out any offensive line, bad or good. He's going to help them out because he's at that point now, I believe, after what we've seen from him. He knows when to escape. He knows where his weaknesses are on the line. He understands some of the wide receivers. I'm pretty sure he wishes they could catch a lot better, but
yeah,
I think he's the guy that can really help you out in your run game too. So
that's why you're all in on 2026 is like, you got that guy who's so good that you need to put the pieces around him to where you could compete for a national championship. Like if Arch was gone and it's like, all right, KJ Lacey or DFL, it's like, all right, well, 2026 is going to be a bit of a rebuild. That doesn't mean you don't go get pieces from the portal, but you're probably not looking at Cam Coleman. You're probably not, spinning at the top of the heap for a lot of these guys. It's like, all right, well, let's, you're going
to rely on some of your development guys that you're going to develop that, you get paid for coaching too.
I don't.
Yeah, but those guys do.
Oh, yeah. I wish I got paid for coaching from the couch. I feel like I do a pretty good job of that.
Yeah, you're a fantastic coach. You're a couch coach. You do good, CC.
Thank you very much. Our guy David Keith Williams says Trey Wisner rushed for 1,000 yards and caught 40 passes in the same season, which no Longhorn had ever done. Doesn't make sense that so many Longhorns fans and insiders undervalue him.
See, that's coming back to me. That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping I'm not kicking my own ass for thinking that you could do better. I mean, I watching him, I know what his limitations are. But I know that he was solid, and him coming back for another year, I would expect for him to be better because I expect the offensive line to have been better. But when you're all in, you're looking for the guy. You're looking for the dude right now.
There is some definite risk involved with Texas letting Trey Wisner walk.
I believe in that. Yeah, in my mind, I've been thinking that lately.
Well, yeah,
there is a risk.
Well, going from known to unknown commodities anywhere in life, it means you're taking a risk, right? You kind of knew what you had with Trey Wisner.
Yes,
team leader, well respected in the locker room, like a solid, like an above average running back. Like,
don't
get me wrong, but they feel like they can upgrade, and I feel like they can upgrade too. And Trey Wisner, yes, he rushed for 1,000 yards in 2024. It was great. It took him 15 games to get there. Like, Texas played a lot of extra games to put up those numbers that he put up that year. I don't think he's a game-changing type of back. Again, I wanted Trey Wisner back in 2025. I've always said, or in 2026. I always said that I didn't want him to go, but, $1 million, $1.5 million, if you're going to be paying that much for a running back, I think you can find somebody better than him.
Yeah, and the guy from Florida is better. Sorry, whoever just said that. I'm sorry. That guy is better than this guy.
Now, again, that's the risk involved. If it was as simple as, you let Trey Wisner go, and then the next day Jaden Ball had committed to Texas, we wouldn't have gotten that comment from David Keith Williams. At least I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Sorry, David Keith. Love you. But that's the problem. It's like you lost your guy, and here we are. It's day 5 of the portal. Still plenty early. There's still a lot of really good uncommitted players out there, but it is day 5 of the portal, and your top target hasn't entered. Your number 2 target has already said he's staying at his current school with Isaac Brown at Louisville. And now it just feels like from the outside world, you're on plan C.
Yeah, you're just starting to search now. But once again, even before talking about Ball, we had talked about guys at other places that weren't Power 5, weren't Power 5 schools that were just, right down the road. You can tell a good running back and how he fits your scheme. You've got all the film. You've got people calling you up. You've got, you watch, you see. They don't have to come from USC. They don't have to come from Alabama or places like that to come and do pretty good at running back. You can be a pretty good runner at a lot of places.
Dude, I would have loved Caleb Hawkins from UNT.
Yeah.
But
sure.
obviously, he's following his coach to go to Oklahoma State. So I don't know if Texas or anybody else had much of a shot there. But yeah, I mean, we've seen, Ahmad Hardy's the example that I always bring up, right? That guy was at Louisiana Monroe.
It wouldn't even play. I mean, guys that would go to places that don't even play hardly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Ahmad Hardy played a lot at ULM, but it's like, he's at ULM. Now he's going to Missouri. What can he do in the SEC? He's one of the best running backs in the conference, in the country this year. So, yeah, you don't have to find guys from those big-time programs to make a difference. But those are the guys that
one thing, you know them when you see them. That's how they stand out.
Yeah. Well, they clearly like Raleek Brown, I guess.
Yeah, and Trey Wisner for all the things that he didn't do. He did a lot of really good things. He made himself known. He made himself valuable to somebody, just not valuable enough to get that kind of money.
All right.
And I got it. And I just think for what, I mean, you talk about beating up on OU and beating up on A&M and having a below average line last year, but he ran like a below average back last year, except for a couple games too, along with that below average line. And you can't do that again.
That's the biggest thing. Again, it goes back.
Right.
You got to fix the offensive line, because if you're getting any of these guys, if you're getting Jaden Ball with a bad offensive line, then you're just wasting your time. So I think he's good enough to where, all right, he could still put up some solid numbers here. But if you want Sark to get back to having a 1,000-yard rusher, I mean, I'm looking for somebody who could come in here and be an all SEC caliber player.
Sure.
And I feel like that's what Texas is looking for too. I feel like that's why they let Trey Wisner walk. They felt like they can add an upgrade who is an all-conference caliber player at that position. And that's the hope. But the guy can't do it alone. No running back can do it alone. So do I think Trey Wisner would have put up as bad of numbers as he did if Texas had a competent offensive line this year? No, absolutely not. So you've got to make sure you're bringing in pieces. I think you're good at tackles. And Trevor Gooseby, if he comes back, it sounds like he's coming back. You've got maybe the best left tackle in college football. I like Brandon Baker at right tackle, but you have to find some pieces on the inside of that offensive line so you can run between the tackles.
Absolutely.
Way more effectively than you did this season. So Raleek Brown, keep an eye on that one. Haven't heard anything about Caden Durham yet, the LSU transfer running back who played his high school ball at Duncanville up in the Metroplex. He is in the portal as well. Had a really good freshman year 2 years ago. Not as good of a sophomore year. Nobody was good at LSU this season. But that's another potential name that I know some Longhorn fans have been talking about. Haven't heard any reported interest between Texas and Caden Durham at this point. So
no, he was just okay at LSU, right? He wasn't a great one.
Well, yes, his freshman year, he was like a freshman All-American. He had 753 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, they were a mess on offense this year too.
Yeah, on 5.5 yards per carry. Also 28 catches. Like he did a lot. He was a big part of their offense in 24. But yeah, this year down to 500 yards, 4.5 yards a carry, half the number of touchdowns. And he just after Brian Kelly got fired, he didn't play very much.
No.
He only had double-digit carries in one of LSU's final 7 games of the year.
Yeah, they just weren't any good.
They sucked. They fired their coach mid-season. They were, 7-6 when it was all said and done. So maybe there's some juice left to squeeze, if you will, with Caden Durham. But yeah, again, to this point, he's in the portal, but I have not heard Texas going after him yet. All right,
their new coach will know about running backs all over the country, I got to believe.
Lane Kiffin?
No, the coach here at Texas, the running back coach at Texas will know. He's been around. He's been to a lot of places. So
yeah, and look, Jabbar Jalouk coached at Florida. Florida plays LSU every year. So, he's gotten to see Caden Durham.
He knows all about the schools in Louisiana, the Louisiana Monroes. If there's some kid that jumps out, he knows the players.
Yeah, I bet he recruited Caden Durham out of high school because he was a high 4-star recruit and everybody offered him out of Duncanville. And again, he's seen him play in college in the SEC the last couple of years too. So he knows a lot about Caden Durham. And, that's obviously a vote of confidence if Texas decides to kick the tires.
I agree.
So we'll see. There's your latest and greatest out of the portal for Texas. The Longhorns also hosted a linebacker yesterday, Christian Allegro. Spent 3 years at Wisconsin, 6'4", 250 pounds. He was all Big Ten honorable mention this season. 53 tackles, 8 TFLs, 4 sacks. Very good athlete. And I know we say that like you have to be a pretty good athlete to play football at this level, right? So that feels like Captain Obvious. But Christian Allegro once signed to play lacrosse at Navy back in the day.
Woo.
So think of like Ethan Burke level athlete, right? Like that guy was good enough to play major Division I college lacrosse, chose to play football at Texas. Things worked out pretty well for both sides there. Christian Allegro, that type of athlete where, yeah, he's a big boy, but he can also move. And I know Wisconsin hasn't been very good, so they haven't been on a whole lot of people's radars, but there's a guy with starting experience in a major conference who can
Wisconsin's got some pretty good linebackers.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have. And this guy, good-looking dude, Buck. I don't know if I have to call like no homo after that or anything. Let me pull up
handsome guy.
Let me pull up a picture here.
Handsome on and off the field.
I don't know if it's weirder if I show a picture or not show a picture, but we're going to show a picture. Pretty good-looking guy right there. Guys are going to come to campus, and there's some good-looking women at the University of Texas.
250?
Dude, is that like 247, I think is what he was listed at?
Oh, we always list them heavier. We need to list them heavier. It's 250 something. Yeah. Good-looking young guy. Bring him on.
6'4", 245 is what he is, according to ESPN.
It's still big enough to be inside.
Yeah, Wisconsin's website has him at 6'4", 247. So there you go.
It's a big dude.
The ladies would be okay with that guy coming in to campus next year. So, yeah, linebacker is another one of those spots I'm so excited about. Anthony Smith, I feel great about him. He was so good against Michigan, and he was really solid all season long. So that's one starter you have. But outside of that, at linebacker, you're not entirely sure what you have coming back. So that's another area where Texas could be going for 2. I think they probably will be signing 2 linebackers out of the portal.
Anybody on the defensive backfield front, any cornerback looking?
Yeah, they had, oh boy, you'll get a kick out of this one, Buck. Texas hosted a Rutgers cornerback.
Well, of course they did.
Yesterday. But he's good.
Did they have one of the Rutgers coaches bring him up too?
Well, yes, Mark Orfe, going into his second year as a defensive assistant, actually recruited and signed Bo Masco is his name to Rutgers a few years ago. Masco's a good player, 4th highest rated corner in the portal, all Big Ten honorable mention. I think he was the best player on Rutgers defense this past year. Now that's being the skinniest kid at a fat camp, maybe, but I like his game. He's also physical. He's also willing to play press man coverage. That's a lot of what Rutgers did, and that's obviously a lot of what Will Muschamp is hopefully bringing back to Texas.
Yeah.
So I think he'd be a good fit. I know Texas hosted him and his family yesterday. Yesterday was Monday, right? Yeah, yesterday. And we will see what happens there. But
they couldn't wait to just come up here and get the hell out of the snow.
Yeah.
80 degrees. They must have loved that.
Oh my God. No kidding. Yeah. What a
he's
good
coming. Oh, he's from Rutgers. He's coming. Hey, just say the word Texas. If they're coming from Piscataway, they're coming.
And
you don't have to worry. You don't have to do much recruiting on that front.
Hey, Bo Masco is from Florida. So he's not one of those like grew up in the cold. Rutgers is close to home. So he's got to be staying in Big Ten country. Guy grew up in Florida. Maybe he wants some warm weather back in his life.
Yeah, come on, man.
I'll take that right there.
But no other coaches are coming from Rutgers right now, right?
As of now, there are no other coaches coming in for Rutgers. Much to your dismay, sir.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. So I like Bo Masco, though. I think that'd be a good pickup for Texas. I think Ohio State potentially interested. I think if Texas wants Bo Masco, like if they're willing to offer a good amount of money, he's going to come to Texas because the Mark Orfe relationship, that's real. That should give Texas a leg up over anybody else. In fact, that Orfe, when he was in Piscataway, New Jersey, went to Florida to recruit this guy. Like there's clearly a relationship there. So if Texas is like wanting to spend the money on a good cornerback, Bo Masco will be a Longhorn. I feel very good about that.
Any of these dudes leaving Indiana anytime soon? Is Indiana losing anybody? I mean, when you're good like that, you lose guys too when you're
Yeah.
really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost some backups, and it's hard because they're still playing, obviously. So, they might have some starter level players depart once their playoff run comes to an end, which could be on Friday. That's when their next game is. But I don't know why you'd want to leave that place.
No kidding.
And dude, they're hitting the portal hard. I mean, they got Josh Hoover, the TCU quarterback, so he's going to take over when Mendoza goes to the league. They got Nick Marsh, the wide receiver from Michigan State, a guy that I was hoping Texas was going to kick the tires on. I think they've got a running back. They're also, like Raleek Brown, the running back we talked about, took a visit to Bloomington over the weekend. So they're potentially interested in him too.
I think one of their running backs has still got another year.
They're doing a good job, man, at Indiana. And I actually did a podcast hit last night with an Indiana guy asking about Parker Livingston. Like, Livingston took a visit there. So, like, they're doing a good – Texas didn't do a great job of this last year. And it kind of bothered me. And I sort of gave Sark the benefit of the doubt. It's like, well, you're spending more time getting ready for a playoff semifinal, so I get not being that active in the portal. But Indiana is doing the same thing, getting ready for a national semifinal, and he's recruiting out the wazoo right now.
Yeah, and they're everybody's favorite to win it all now.
Yeah, I think they should be, right?
Yes.
The number one seed. They've been the best team in college football really all season. I mean, they haven't lost. Every other team that is still around has lost at least once. And, I mean, they just ran through Alabama in the Rose Bowl.
Roll Tide.
38-3, the final in that game?
Yeah.
Crazy. I know it ain't Nick Saban's Alabama, but it's still an Alabama team that won a playoff game. Yeah, played in an SEC championship game. And
I'm loving Feinbaum's show every day now.
What's he
Those
got
Alabama people have lost their cookies. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I've been around when Texas is bad, but Alabama hasn't been bad that long. You know what I'm saying?
They're not bad. They made the playoff.
Dude,
they won a game.
It's the end of the world for their football program. It's
their
like,
fans,
we'll never be back. We're never coming back. How can we possibly do it with this guy? We're no good. They talk about their players like they have zero heart whatsoever.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, whenever Nick Saban lost a game,
yes,
Alabama fans would lose their mind. It's like, oh my God, do we need to make a change? Has the game passed Nick Saban by?
And it's not a bit with these people. It's not a bit. I thought maybe a bit that they just want to be angry at something.
Yeah.
They truly believe that they are done.
Right. They were acting like the world was crashing and the sky was falling.
Oh, yeah.
When they would lose one game a year under Nick Saban. And now they're losing 3 or 4 with Kalen DeBoer. And it's like, oh, my God.
Dude, they are Georgia, you would think Georgia fans are bad when that happens. Kirby's lost it or whatever. But they're not even close to what Alabama fans are.
No, they're at a different level. And look, with success comes expectations. So they had the greatest dynasty in modern college football. So they know they're capable of doing that. So they expect to be doing that every year.
And the more they act like that, the more in the SEC, the more I say, Auburn, you don't have a chance. You're a coach. If you lose a game to an undefeated whatever team, you don't have a chance. They just believe you should be gone no matter what. You better smoke everybody that you play, or nobody will believe in you.
Auburn, it's like you just beat Bama every couple of years, you're good to go. Stick around. Yeah, Auburn. I mean, if they have expectations like Alabama, then I don't know what they're doing.
I mean, there are some jobs that if you get and you can make things happen for a year or two, you're like a hero. If Arkansas can make it just for a year or two, make it happen, where they can win 9 games, people will go like out of their minds about Arkansas football.
Well, I mean, Sam Pittman had that for 1 year, right?
1 year.
2021, the year they smoked Texas in Fayetteville and Steve Sarkisian's first season. I think they won 9 games and everybody loved Sam Pittman. And then, it's how it goes. I mean, they can love you, but eventually your time's going to run out. That was the case for Sam Pittman, and that's been the case for every Auburn coach. I've had coaches win national championships, coaches make national championships, and a couple of years later, sayonara.
Yeah,
Sucks
I'm,
life.
I'm thinking that the next group to get that is the dude who's now got the Miss Ole Miss job.
Oh, Pete
He's
Golding.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Pressure's going to be on him. And
Wow. See, we don't get that kind of pressure at Rutgers. You know what I'm saying?
you're saying we with Rutgers now?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Rutgers, like, hey, can we just make some bowl games, please?
Yes.
That would be okay. But it
So
just
they
means
are in the
more.
Big Ten. They're in the Big Ten, right?
They are, yes, sir. But it
Wow.
doesn't mean as much up there. It just means more down here.
It started to mean just as much in the Big Ten lately.
I don't know about Rutgers, but
No, I wouldn't count them as that part of that.
hey, the Big Ten, they've got 2 teams left. They're the only conference with multiple teams still alive. They're guaranteed 1 team in the national championship game because Indiana and Oregon are playing against each other. And if they win the national title, it'll be 3 years in a row where a different Big Ten school has won it all. So I think top to bottom, the SEC is still the best conference in college football, but Big Ten keeps winning championships. They will have a claim to stake.
Yeah, people can count those. Want to count those bowl games? I don't count those things. Are no, thank you.
Well, wait, Texas won, so yes.
Oh yeah, maybe we should count that.
They
Yeah,
really matter. And isn't that how it
yeah,
works?
we just own Michigan. That's all.
We do.
There's another team in the Big Ten that we can't quite figure it out with.
Right.
We'll see them again for a third time.
Yeah, Ohio
Michigan,
State.
we own that. We own Michigan.
Well, no problem with Michigan. Hopefully, Texas is about to own. Probably a better way to word that. Hopefully, Texas is about to buy 2 of Michigan's offensive linemen in the portal. That would be.
Now we're talking. Is that sounding good? Is that looking good?
I don't know. I mean, both of those guys met with Kyle Whittingham, I think on Monday. Maybe it was Sunday. I feel like it's Texas or Michigan for both. The right tackle, Andrew Sprague, and the right guard, Jake Winera. So we will see.
Now, as a head coach, I wonder if these coaches, like the new Michigan coach, a dude from Utah that's just used to talking to families. I mean, when he brings the kids in there, I wonder if he has to sit down and talk money. Is he the guy to talk money, or does somebody else do the talking with that? Is it all encompassing now as the head coach? You've actually got to talk money to the players, or do you talk to their agents?
I think it depends on the coach. I mean, look, that's why you have GMs in college football. Like, that's usually their job. And most coaches, I think, they don't want to get super involved in that, but it's impossible to just not be a part of those conversations. And
yeah, because the kid wants to hear that you're the decision maker there. Right. And if you're not talking money with that kid, isn't he's going to, whether he has an agent or not, I don't know. Maybe kids are just different. An agent is just like being a part of you.
Right. Look, Sark, I know, talks to the agents too. So, I mean, I know he's involved at Texas. It's a good question. I got to ask Jordan that exactly how that works. My guess is for some schools it's different. And like, I don't know if Nick Saban wanted to be a part of those conversations. I don't know if Bill Belichick is a part of those conversations at North Carolina.
Yeah, like if you go to, if you're a position coach and you're going to somebody's house to visit, I'm used to seeing a bunch of different people at the house on an official visit from, a place like Texas and talking to them and stuff. And there's Uncle Joe over in the corner sleeping, with a beer in his hand, not really paying attention, or somebody watching TV or whatever. But I'm wondering if you go there, they're like there's 2 agents. The agency is there on your discussion with the family. I wonder how that is for recruiting now. I wonder if that has got to be, I mean, you're talking about having your P's and Q's and your speech all lined up and what you want to say and what you can't say around people. Yeah. Well, I mean, I probably would have a hard time of, oh, my son wants to be an engineer. I mean, like, dude. I mean, if I say that's not even, it's like over with immediately.
Yeah. Some guys probably don't care as much about the recruiting pitch as they used to. Some guys, it might just be, how much are you paying me?
Wow.
And it's a lot of mercenaries in college football nowadays. So
no doubt.
That's life. All right, we'll get back into this. Texas basketball we have to talk about. Also, academics are apparently still a thing. What are you doing? The 6-7 dance? Why are you doing the 6-7 dance?
I mean, it's just a thing. It's just a thing.
Oh, it's a thing that maybe is costing Texas a player that they really want. We'll see if you like the school after we get to this story. Plus a couple of funny stories before we hand things off to the boys at Chaos Theory at the top of the hour. But before anything else, Buck, how about a few more sponsor shout-outs?
I'll be headed to Hat Creek Burger today. Burger Day. Get myself, before I play a little golf, I'm going to get myself double with cheese. Going to go for some sweet potato fries. I'm into the sweet potato fries now. I didn't think I would be, but I'm going to do that. And I'm going to have banana pudding shake today. How's
You're
that?
doing that before golf? You should do that after golf.
No, it gets to be too late. Dude, you start playing golf at noon. It's almost dark by the time you get home from places now. No, that's right. I can eat in the dark, but I'd rather come home to my lovely wife and have her lasagna or some salad with some chicken in it and pretend I'm really eating healthy. But I will be going, I can eat healthy at Hat Creek Burger too. I could also go to breakfast at Hat Creek Burger from 7, starting at 7 a.m. in the morning, get myself some tacos or get myself pancakes or waffles at Hat Creek Burger. But what I want is the double with cheese. Hey, keep your pickles, please. Hey, you know what you can add in there? How about some bacon, BK?
Yeah.
You know what? I've never been a bacon burger person. I'm thinking about doing that at Hat Creek Burger.
Oh, you're missing out on life, sir.
Really? There's something to adding a little bacon on top of that meat?
Bacon cheeseburger, aka every rabbi's dream.
Yeah, I think I may do that. But folks, Hat Creek Burger has everything that you're looking for. Folks, if you want a little hottie toddy at the end of the day, you can have that at Hat Creek Burger. Mom and dad, while the kids are on that playscape, enjoying themselves. Love Hat Creek Burger.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to them. Also, shout out to centextickets.com if you're looking for tickets to any sporting event, any concert, any comedy show, any festival, whatever. You can find them online at centextickets.com. It's super easy to use. You shop from your phone or your computer, and they've got everything you are looking for. If you want to catch a Texas basketball game, men's or women's this year, I think the women are back at Moody Center on Thursday. If you want to watch them, boom, you could do that. If you want to head down to San Antonio for a Spurs game, watch Wemby in person, boom, Centex tickets as you covered. Plus, Kevin Nealon's coming to town on Friday. Pretty hilarious comedian. There's so much on site at Centex Tickets. All you have to do is go over there and don't forget to use the promo code Centex10. You type that in at checkout, you're going to get 10% off of any ticket purchase from our great friends at centextickets.com.
Sweet. Love it. Love Centex Tickets.
And McCall Custom Homes, Buck, how's your putting green these days?
Putting green is fantastic. I'm putting a garden right next to it, putting a couple crepe myrtle trees in there and getting everything all fixed up. My wife said, hey, nothing like bringing in another garden for stuff to die in. But hey, listen, I do those things. And somebody's got to tell me, how about this, old George Washington? I'm trying to grow a couple cherry trees.
Is that what George Washington did?
Or chop down a cherry tree. I must not tell, I can't tell a lie. I chop down the cherry tree. But I'm trying to grow them. It's not going to work, but I'm going to give it a try here in the state of Texas. This is not the place. You get that stuff where CB lives up there when you have a little water and some winter. But of course, I'm going to try it to watch it just die. I'm going to water the hell out of it. I'm going to try to put in a couple cherry trees down on the other side. I don't think the deer like cherries. So I don't think they'll bother the cherry tree itself, but we'll see. We'll see. I love Mike McCall has done such a great job here. The putting green is beautiful. The hitting, the driving net, BK, I can hit balls into the net. I can go back, 10 yards and hit balls into the net without hitting houses and stuff. It's great. I mean, he does it all. Yeah. He does everything.
The best in the business. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. Tons of experience. They can do whatever you're looking for. McCall Custom Homes, ATX.com. They're offering free estimates to TSU listeners, so take advantage. Make that a New Year's resolution to upgrade your home in 2026. And shout out to Covert Bee Cave as well. If you're in the market for a newer pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, go see our friends at Covert Bee Cave. The best selection, the best people, the best prices. They've got everything that you need right there off of Highway 71. You can shop their entire inventory online at covertbeecave.com, so you don't even have to leave the couch until you're ready to make your purchase. They are the very best at what they do. Part of the Covert Auto Group that's been around the Austin area for more than 100 years. Go see them at Covert Bee Cave.
Jesus, like, who golfs on a full tummy? I do. I need to have a full tummy because it's the point of it'll be in the 80s today. When I get to that back nine, it's like my man Paulie has to bring me a taco. He goes, you need to energize yourself. I found out that it's not always about hydration. It's about having enough food in that engine. I burn up. This engine burns a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This choo-choo right here burns up a lot. So I have to make sure that it's loaded with fuel before I take off.
You got to make sure you load up the toilet at the turn. Sounds like that's your goal, right? You're just going to down a double bacon cheeseburger from Hat Creek, and
I'm playing out of Lost Pines. Just the drive alone, it'll all be digested by the time I get out there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I might have to pull over and hit a 7-Eleven or something, though.
Yeah, and I'm also looking to shoot 102, 104 out there, as I always do.
It's a good goal to have, shooting in the Hundies.
No, my goal is to be below 95 today. How's that?
I like that. I like that right there. All right, real quick, this academic story here.
Okay.
A linebacker, guy we've talked about once or twice over the last couple of weeks, Robert Woodyard Jr., entered the portal from Auburn. Speaking of Auburn, SEC linebacker, multiple years of experience, was a starter for the Tigers in 2025. Chip was talking about this yesterday, and I talked to Chip off the air about this too. I was told that Texas was interested, but Woodyard's academics aren't good enough for him to get admitted into the school.
What?
So he can't come.
We call him Woody for short, but really?
Why do you call him Woody for short?
What's his name? Woodward?
Woodyard. Robert Woodyard.
Yeah, we just call him Woody.
Okay. Well, we're not going to call him anything because he's not going to be here.
What?
And I didn't realize academics still mattered in college football in the year of our Lord 2026. But
of course, it's going to always matter. That's what I've been trying to push that on you for 10 years now, that academics matter.
Who do we blame here? Like, I feel like I should be mad at Texas. Like, come on, trying to win a national championship. It's a good linebacker who can help you do that. Do we not?
Listen, it's not always the university. The coaches understand too that if I tell you to cross that street and you keep crossing that street, let me tell you something. You may get hit by a bus, and I'm going to take responsibility for it. But damn if I told you 1,000 times, dude, do not cross that street.
There is no way Sark was like, no, his academics aren't good enough. We can't have them. There's only so much in Sark's control. He does not control the admissions at the University of Texas.
You'd be surprised, BK, on how far you can go with smart football players.
Yeah, look, don't get me wrong. I mean,
it helps.
Of course it helps, but talent helps too. And look, there's other options.
Not if you keep telling that talent, hey, don't cross that street.
We're not talking about, turning down Dick Butkus to play linebacker here. I mean, it's like Texas can be fine. They'll find good linebackers in the portal, but this is a guy, again, I was told that there was mutual interest there, but he couldn't get into school at Texas. So I feel like it's not that hard when you're a really good football player, just athlete in general, to get into the University of Texas. You don't have
in other words, you'll let a dope tackle for you, but you won't let a dope take the snap from center.
You don't have a lot of regulations or restrictions that a guy like me would have trying to apply to the University of Texas. It's not as difficult, and I'm cool with that. Not a complaint, by the way. So I'm like, is it Texas's fault or is it the kid's fault? Like, I don't know how that happens in 2026.
So the kid is actually in a college. Somebody's already pushed him in or pushed him through or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's actually probably been to a class before.
I think he's been to some classes before. I think. Like, you have to be academically eligible to play still?
I don't know how that works anymore.
I don't either. Because nobody cares about the school.
Because most of the good ones are academically eligible for the season, then they're gone. They could care less.
All right. I didn't come here to play school. All right. Clearly.
Yeah, because I remember when I first started doing radio, it was always, such and such still had, he wasn't at summer practice because he had to take a bunch of classes in order to be eligible to get out there and practice in the fall. Dude, I haven't heard about that in 10 years. They quit doing that shit. They just, even if they're academically ineligible, they just practice.
Yeah.
It used to be, you remember when you'd hear about, well, such and such still got some classes to take before he can go to fall camp. You don't ever hear that anymore. That doesn't even come up anymore.
That's like a high school thing, right?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, he's got to take some classes before he can play. Nobody says that anymore. It's like, I don't care how dumb his ass is. He can play. Let's go.
Mike Singletary, I want winners. He didn't say I want students. I want scholars. He didn't say that.
I want student athletes. That's what I want.
I want winners.
Oh, come
I heard
on,
that, and I'm like, really? We're still doing this here? Oh my gosh. All
Yeah, you
right.
used to hear about that all the time. You don't hear it anymore. You
No.
don't get before the season. You don't hear Sark saying, "Well, such and such will not be making practice because he's got a couple classes." And Mac used to just say it. Mac just said, "Well, what's his name's got to take 2 more classes. He'll be there in another week. Class will be over with. He'll join the team." You don't even hear that anymore. It's like, okay, if they flunk, even if they're flunking, they just practice.
Yeah, well, we've heard Sark talk about GPA before, and
Yeah.
Texas has been good in that department, at least according to Steve Sarkisian. I'm not checking his facts on that. So I know they want their players to go to class and get good grades and everything like that, but that's a good thing, I guess. But I didn't realize it would cost them potential impact player on the defense, Weird bit. He's going to Mizzou. Apparently, he committed to Mizzou yesterday. So that
They don't have to go to school there. That's not a big deal.
No, it's pretty easy to get into Mizzou. Go be a journalist up there. Good luck to you, Woody, as he liked to call him. Maybe go to class. Hey, Texas basketball is back tonight, Buck.
Woody's a dope. He can't get to Texas. Come on, Woody.
Couldn't get to Texas. Texas basketball at Tennessee, 8 o'clock tonight on ESPN2. Tennessee ranked number 21 in the country. Both teams dropped their SEC opener. We spent a lot of time yesterday talking about Texas's disappointing overtime loss to Mississippi State. The Volunteers dropped a game at Arkansas. Arkansas is pretty good. It's not an easy place to win. The Longhorns have lost 4 in a row against the fake UT. And Texas is a 10.5-point underdog tonight, Buck.
Woo.
So the folks in Sin City not very confident in the Longhorns' chances to get to 500 in conference play. And this starts a very difficult 3-game stretch for the Longhorns. They are at Tennessee tonight, at Alabama over the weekend, and then Vanderbilt comes to town next week. Those are 3 teams all ranked in the top 20.
Those boys better stay on the right side of the street for the next couple games.
Yeah, I guess so. And Tennessee, by the way, they have been incredible at home under Rick Barnes. They have 5 home losses in the last 5 years, the second best home winning percentage in the country, behind only Houston, who we see what they do every year.
Dude, the herky-jerky lefty is going to take more shots than he's ever taken since he's been at Texas tonight.
I am. Maybe.
He is going to go berserk.
I hope. I mean, there have been games. Remember the Duke game where Tremont Mark shot like 3 times the entire game? Maybe it was 2.
Yeah. He's going to take a lot of shots in this game.
So we'll see. I mean, it can't be Dalen Swain. As good as he was, like Dalen Swain's not going to get you 34 points every night. So you're going to need more from Jordan Pope, who is not good against Mississippi State. You're going to need to make some more free throws. I think Modest Vokatitis is going to have to be a big part of the offensive game plan. And, what will Texas get at the 4? Sean Miller talked about it after the game. It's something Zay's been talking about a lot. Texas has not gotten any contributions from the 4 spot all year long. I don't know. You've only had 2 days off from the last game, so I don't know what's going to change tonight. But, Sean Miller said you're playing 4-on-5, and he's not really wrong. But it's his job to find a 5th guy.
But you're playing 4-on-5 when you got Pope in the game.
Well, then if that's the case, it's 3-on-5.
Yeah, because that little guy can't cover anybody.
Rough game for Pope. So we'll see. Tennessee's good. They're battle-tested. They beat Houston. They beat Louisville.
Yep.
They've played Kansas. They lost to Kansas. They lost at Syracuse. They lost to Illinois. They lost to Arkansas. So they've got 4 losses. But
I feel weird talking about Kansas as like a 16th ranked team or 15th.
They are. I think they're 22 right now.
Wow.
Dude, Kansas, and maybe once we're further removed from football stuff going on, we'll talk about this. Kansas has a kid, Darren Peterson, who is the number 2 recruit in America this year, potential number 1 pick in the NBA draft. And he's hardly playing. He's missed a lot of games with a hamstring injury. And people are like, is he really hurt? Is he just faking it? He knows he's going to be a high draft pick. Did he just take the money and run? He's there with the team. In the first half, Kansas lost to UCF over the weekend. He had 22 points in the first half. And then he played 3 minutes in the second half. Then he sat on the bench and had one of those massage guns from Relax the Back.
Oh, really?
Doing nothing the rest of the game. And it's we could use you. We're losing this game. And instead he's over there away from the rest of the bench.
With his accessories.
Theragunning himself. And it's it is a we don't talk too much non-Texas college basketball in January on this show, but it is
Wow.
like one of the biggest stories in college basketball right now. And every Kansas fan is like, what in the hell is going on here? Paid this guy a lot of money and he might be faking an injury to not play.
That's awful.
And he's a one and doneer too. So this is it. But anyways, we'll see what Texas does tonight. Tennessee's got a really good freshman in Nate Ament, who was a top 5 recruit. So he's a little soft, not as physical, not having the year that I thought he would have at Tennessee, but he's still their second leading scorer, potential lottery pick. Their best player, Jacoby Gillespie, Maryland transfer, averaging 17 points per game. He's a point guard who will be a tough guard for anybody on Texas. So again, Longhorns are 10.5-point dogs, Buck. I'm not expecting a win, but it would be very nice if they did.
Why don't you just not expect that win and just have a surprise tomorrow morning?
I would love that. Yes, I would love a surprise tonight. Again, 8 o'clock on the Deuce, Texas at Tennessee, trying to beat Rick Barnes for the first time in 5 tries.
Wow.
Okay. Quick mention, Heck Law Firm, Ryan Hurricane Hecht, your go-to personal injury attorney here in Central Texas. 512-938-8929, hechtlawfirm.com for more info. He's the best at what he does. If you need a personal injury attorney, he is the guy you need to call.
Yeah, they need to hit some offensive linemen here over the next, while this week is going on, because those guys will start really disappearing. Next week, guys will start it's what's next week? You get into the 13th, 14th, and 15th.
Yep.
Halfway through. Yeah, guys are going to start disappearing at other places here shortly.
Yeah, and I think, look, Texas has hosted a number of offensive linemen before, and I think they have some fallback options too. But I think they really want those 2 kids from Michigan. It's just, it's Texas versus Michigan right now. So the Longhorns, those guys are in the portal. This is not a Jaden Ball situation where they haven't even entered. Both of those Michigan offensive linemen are in the portal.
Yeah, and they have interest in Texas, which is good to hear.
They do. Yeah, they have interest. There's mutual interest there. But Michigan has money, of course. And, they didn't have to pay a buyout for Sharon Moore, which helps. Usually when it's a coaching change, you got to save some of that money to pay your coach to leave. They didn't have that problem.
You hadn't got any money yet?
And, those guys committed to Michigan. So it's like they've been there. That's home for them. It's a lot to up and leave across the country to go from Ann Arbor to Austin, Texas.
No, it's not. No, it's not, guys. You fly, you just, hey, we'll get a U-Haul. We'll get your stuff.
You're right.
Just put it out in the yard or whatever it is. The U-Haul people will pick it up. We'll see you here in Austin. Quit messing around. Just get here.
You're right. You know what? In case they're listening, it's very easy to get here.
Yeah.
Hey, check the weather app. Do you want to be what you have in Ann Arbor?
Ann Arbor right now?
Yeah. Do you want 80 degrees here in January? Some warmth for you. And then, hey, you could still go home for the summer. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about summertime temps in Austin.
Dude, it's no. You look around the country and the temperatures right now, it's like, oh, my goodness.
I think
your back, your bones.
Yeah, I'm glad we don't have to deal with that.
No.
I won't lie to you. Andrew Sprague, the right tackle, is from Kansas City. Jake Guanera is from Florida. Another Florida kid. Hey.
Come on.
Some of that hometown weather. We got it here in the ATX. All right.
Yeah, he's probably sick of that Michigan weather anyway.
I would be. I was in Ohio for like 3 days. And
you had enough. You never want to see that again.
No, I'm good on that. So we'll see if they can get either or both of those offensive linemen. But yeah, there's not the more action happened yesterday, but there's still a ton of really good uncommitted players available, and the majority of the top 9 quarterbacks are still uncommitted. So there are options for Texas, but yeah, I think every Longhorn fan is looking for more good news. There's been, 5 portal pickups, but 3 of them are specialists. One of them is a number 2 tight end, and one of them is like a beefy defensive tackle.
Yeah, I got a feeling, BK, if Jaden Ball doesn't leave Florida by the end of this week, he's not leaving. I don't think this is going to come down to I think
I think we'll get an answer this week. I think you're right. Like, I think he'll say something either way. I don't think we'll go into like Saturday and be like, God, what is he doing? Is he going? Is he staying? I think it'll either be he's in the portal or he's released a statement saying he's staying in Gainesville.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to go where I know he's not a guy who's worried about if he's going to make an NFL team. I need money in the bank. I mean, he's got enough money from Florida. He's looking for a place where he can get some yardage, where he can get some more notoriety, where he can become a higher draft choice, because he's an NFL running back, period.
Right. And I'd like to say that he's got a better chance of doing that at Texas, but who knows?
They only have a quarterback at Florida, do they? Or unless coach is bringing somebody with him.
No, I mean, they're in the portal looking for somebody, but they don't have one because Lagway.
Nothing for Lagway. He's not. Is anybody?
He's taking visits. Dude, he could be in the same backfield as Trey Wisner next year. He took a visit to Florida State the other day. So yeah, no, he hasn't committed anywhere, but DJ Lagway is making the rounds right now. Final story here, Buck. We go to Houston for this one.
Okay.
Where an employee at a Lupe Tortilla Tex-Mex restaurant has been arrested. You been to Lupe before? They got a few in Austin.
I've never been.
There's one close to where we used to work. The place where the lights turned off.
Okay.
Solid Tex-Mex joint, though. And we'll take your money, Lupe Tortilla. We usually don't do free plugs around here. Although this story's not going to help them very much. So maybe this is the opposite of good advertising for them. An employee at a Lupe Tortilla in the Houston area has been arrested and charged with a felony. Now, let's bring the boys on for this one here, too. Buck, I'll go to you first. Any guesses on what this restaurant employee did to get arrested and charged with a felony?
Stuck his Johnson in a warm tortilla.
Is that a felony?
Yes. Yes, but you stick it out the drive-through window.
Okay. Oh, that's different. But I don't know.
Why did I think of that? I wonder what that would feel like.
Huh. Check your battery pack, double R.
Maybe I got something to do before I head to the golf course.
I was going to say, well, now I'm kind of intrigued here. I might go get me some Tex-Mex today and try that bit. Now I'm probably, I guess public indecency. If you did that in the restaurant, then okay, you can get arrested for that. But I don't think there's any crime in just,
doing it at the house. There's no crime in doing it at the house if you don't get caught.
Just wrapping it in a warm tortilla, right? There's no problem with that.
I call that a glove.
That's protection. We always say use protection. There you go.
Catcher's mitt. Maybe it was like, did somebody steal some fajita meat? Because they got really good fajitas there. So I know there was some dude in Austin that stole a bunch of briskets.
Oh,
so maybe something
brisket
like that.
Thief, huh?
Where was that?
He stole it from some grocery stores like HEB and Walmart, and it was like $1,500 worth of briskets that this dude stole.
Wow.
Was he having a party or was he trying to resell it?
I figure he was probably doing
resell.
I posted on some community forum where people were outraged, and I said, think about that when you're having brisket this week at that plate sale down the road, where it's like $10 rice and beans and brisket for a great cause.
For a great cause, yeah.
I didn't steal it, so all good for me. Okay, Wags, you have a guess? Lupe Tortilla employee arrested and charged with a felony?
Putting some extra queso in the queso. I don't know.
Oh, some of his own special sauce?
Yeah, some ingredients in the queso.
That should definitely be a felony right there. No, it has nothing to do with the food. How about invasive visual recording? This employee is accused of hiding a camera in the bathroom.
Oh, he's one of them.
31-year-old. Hey, I'm 31. Basin Elias Pugh.
I guarantee you have a lot more going on than Basin.
Basin, Bayson.
Like a crack basin.
Like cousin of Mason? Basin?
Cousin of Mason. His last name is Pugh or Pooh, P-U.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he had some bathroom stuff, in his nature just by his name himself. Here's a picture of the guy.
Oh, look at him.
Take a look. This story is from December 30th in the Hedwig Village area of Houston. He's accused of hiding a camera in the bathroom. Hedwig Village Police Chief Justin Wood said another employee found the camera, told the GM who called the police. The preliminary investigation shows that the camera was installed on Tuesday just after 6:30 p.m. and that a female employee discovered it under the bathroom sink around 7:10 p.m. that same evening. So dumbass did such a bad job hiding this that 40 minutes went by between when he installed it and when he got caught.
Come on, man.
In the bathroom sink? I mean, was he just looking for people washing their hands?
Right, under the sink. Now, here's the kicker. It was the family bathroom. So sometimes it's just, that's where the sink and the toilet are in the same, you don't have the separate stalls. So I'm like, oh, he did this in the women's bathroom and put it in a stall. And I'm like, wait, he did it under a sink. What's the point of that? And then no, it's the family bathroom.
Oh, it's where the kid will go change the diapers and stuff?
Right.
Yeah.
I guess so.
No.
Oh, you pervert.
He was trying to
he
catch
to
somebody
see,
milking or something.
Yeah, is he trying to see some breastfeeding? What's he doing here?
Well,
I mean, hey, you're into whatever you're into, I guess, right?
I'm trying to see some of that. Now, I'm not doing any invasive cameras here, but if I'm doing some Marshall shopping today and you want to go ahead and feed your child, I'm going to stop what I'm doing and at least have a glance at what's going on over there.
Under the sink? Come on, man. Put it up in the vent or somewhere. Drill a little hole and put it in the wall, or something. I mean, that's what I've heard works. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
So like 40 people don't go to the family bathroom as often, right? So this might have been like the second or third person who went in there.
No, you pull that table down and you change your kid if you want to look up a kid's ass.
Right.
Oh,
According to court documents, the camera allegedly recorded a woman and a young girl. So at least, unfortunately, a couple of people were victims here. But also this idiot, there's video on this device of him installing the camera.
Oh, gee.
Like he wasn't wearing a mask or any disguise. So you literally see this dude's face on camera installing the camera in the bathroom.
Damn you, dumb.
I teach my kid to get away with it.
A dope. I mean, how many times if you tell that guy to cross the street, would he cross the street every time?
Well, here's the
Every time.
Yeah. Coach Miller, thank you very much.
I don't know if this is a kicker here, but apparently this guy is also an illegal immigrant who had fake residential documents. So, and I tell you, his name is Basin Elias Pugh. I don't know if that's his actual name or if that's just the name that was on the.
I've never heard of
Social
Basin.
Security
That
card.
Basin is just different. I'm like, nah, something's not right here.
Right.
I've heard of Basil. Like there was an old man back in the day named Basil.
Really?
But not
You've heard of
Basin.
somebody named Basil?
Tony Basil?
Yeah, like his actual name was Basil, not like the ingredient, but like basil.
Yeah.
Oh.
But not Basin. Never or Basin?
Bayson. Basin Elias Pew 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 Pu.
Yeah.
You Basin? You free Basin?
Free Basin.
Before you say that, I had
Under the sink? That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, family bathroom under the sink, and he filmed himself installing the. Of course, it's disgusting, and you should throw this guy under the jail. But he's also one of the dumbest criminals of all time. I'm glad he was so dumb because less people, again, had to get filmed in a bathroom. But dude, come on, man, what are we doing here?
Yeah. I had a buddy back in the day. His name was Frank Cuellar. And he worked with us or whatever. And I'd always like, hey, Frank. Dude would never answer. And I'm like, eventually I'd get his attention. I'd have to tap him on the shoulder. And finally, after about 4 years of calling him Frank, hey, Frank, one of the guys said, that's not his name. He's not going to turn around. He's got fake papers. I'm like, oh, okay. I get it now.
So BK at Verde's, of course, our guy who owns Verde's and a couple of the people there, they've got to the habit of the girl that waits on me there now, of course, Bucky, Bobby, Billy, she's called me Billy like 10 times. And my wife is like, I said to her, I haven't said to the no, it's not. This has been going on for a year. I haven't let her call me Billy now. So I come in the house, I tell my wife the story. The next morning, my wife said, hey, listen, Billy, you need to, don't you want to tell that girl your name? I'm like, no, I go in there and I know what to answer to now. Hey, Billy, have a good day. That is the weirdest thing.
Also, because your name is Michael, so when you pay with a credit card, it says Michael on it. So I don't know how she's getting Billy out of all of that.
Well, the manager calls me Bucky, but
okay.
for some reason she understood that as Billy. And now, do I have to stop that? Or boys, do I go and just go ahead and just let it ride now?
Let it ride. It's already gone long enough. Let it ride.
Take it from Ronnie.
Okay,
It's-
Ryan,
yeah.
what should I do? Should I let it
It's
ride?
good.
I would say let it go, or you could dish it back and just call her like Eileen You Lick as her name. Yeah. Hit her with one of those, or Anita Cox. Like, just hit her with that.
I just don't know when is the right time to stop it. That's now that it's gone. It's like she's gonna look at me and go, "Listen, you dope. You've been coming in here for 3 years now, and for a year you've let me actually call you this name. What's
Yeah,
wrong?
Play it off.
Just let it play out, right?
Let it go.
You're just being kind. You're being kind.
Thank
Or
you,
you
thank
put-
you, Wags. I should look at it that way.
Yeah.
I'm just
I would play a bit. Like, you should tell her your name is Hugh Jasshole.
Hugh Gay.
Yeah.
Hugh Gay
yeah,
asshole.
exactly. Like, you could
Jack me off.
you got some options here, sir, that you could play
Should I
with.
go to the old Jack me?
Of course, the classic one is Haywood Jablomi.
Haywood Jablomi. Yeah. Haywood.
So yeah, Haywood, if you want to go by that. So you guys
Or
you got all-
Richard Apina.
I
Dick
need
for
to
short?
go Hayward.
yeah.
I'm not gonna stop her. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it till Valentine's Day.
Don't
Or
tip
what
her the
about-
next time. And,
tell her
and when
your-
she
tell her
asks
your-
why, tell her why.
Yeah, tell her you're Steve Kerr's kid, Nicholas, and you go by Nick. Don't say that one, boys.
Yeah.
Don't say that one. That could get you in trouble here.
Oh God!
That's the one you got to hit right there.
That's problems.
An unbelievable bit by Steve Kerr.
All right, boys. I'm off to Hat Creek Burger to load up this belly.
Whoa.
Okay. I
You know,
like
over
that.
the last couple of weeks, I weighed in at I've had a 158 weighing. BK had a 159. Sorry, 159.3. I've had a 158. I'm almost there, guys.
Get that
Were you trying to
sombrero
get
burger.
160?
To get to one, I'm almost there.
The sombrero burger should put you over.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a 3 full meals in a day. It won't. 3 full meals will get me there.
It's those migas the other day that got you close. Did you have those
dude.
migas at the bakery or at the day?
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
That'll be good.
I've had migas at what's the place down here on 71 that I go to, BK? The
Jim's?
Rosie's.
Oh,
I
who?
went to Rosie's and had migas on Sunday.
Jim's is closed. I was
Huh?
trying to go to Jim's Saturday night. We were downtown. We were coming back home.
That's
and
got to be a
the
plumbing
Jim-
issue.
they're
That's one of
closed.
those. That's one of those
Like-
BK issues. That's water not working or something. They're never closed.
We pulled into one right there off of Mopac, and it was closed. And the one at 183 said closed. So, man,
Plumbing,
I hope
plumbing
they're
for
open.
both of them using the same water.
Plumbing. How many scraps did someone all right, you know what?
Plus,
We're
it's
at it.
like 15 miles apart.
Hey, you know what's
Oh, yeah, I'm
crazy?
saying they're using the same water. The flow. It's whoever did the system. They do it for all the gyms.
2 years ago, around this time of year, we had pipes bursting because of cold weather. And now we're swimming in pools and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'll take this, Wags.
100%. But I mean, what's going on here?
I know. Global cooling, as they call it.
Yes, global
That's what it
cooling.
is.
I believe.
Listen, boys, have a great Tuesday.
You too, boys. Be
See
good.
y'all tomorrow.
2 for Tuesday. 2 hours on Tuesday.
Two.
Did you get them? Pew, 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 pew.
Got it. 2 for Pew.
Well, what's up? Welcome to a chaotic edition and transition to Chaos Theory on Texas Sports Unfiltered. You can hit me up on Twitter. I'm at Not the Fake Wags. My partner in crime is at the Rodney R. And then on InstaFace, he is at the _ Rodney R. I'm on InstaFace at the Widener Wire. Smash that subscribe button if you have not done so already. Hit that Coda text line 512-222-9328. Again, lottery numbers 512-222-9328. Pew, pew, pew. What's up, everybody?
This Jim's thing is a real problem.
Gyms I've never been to gyms
Oh, my God.
ever.
Absolutely amazing.
Is it Dunzo? Like,
It's like, I don't know. I know the one that we stopped at right there at Mopac and I don't know, the northwest part of town. It was like totally dark. I didn't see the gym sign or anything. And then the one that's closer to us, which is the one right there at 183 and kind of in that Oak Knoll area right there with the Caprimos and all that. That one was just closed. So I hope it's not. I mean, they still got them in San Antonio. That's where it originates from, and there's a shitload of them over there.
Never been. Need to get to it. Absolutely need to get to it, man.
It's kind of like Waffle House. They call you honey there. Hey, honey. I mean, even the guy servers will call you that.
Chicken. Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. It's just a lady.
Okay.
It's just
okay.
Oh, they're still open. Okay, well, maybe it was a renovating. Those are old.
Maybe
buildings.
so. What'd you get into last night, man?
Man, I watched. Did you watch the FCS championship?
I did. Montana State, dude.
It, of course, I think the most astute observation of the night came from my wife as I have this game on, and she says, "What bowl is this?" And I said, "Well, this is a championship. Have to explain what FCS is, in a roundabout way." And she answers with, "Why are all these dudes white?" A bunch of white dudes playing football.
Well, it's Montana State and it's Illinois State, so
that's kind of it's the way it works in the FCS. But it's good football, right? Entertaining.
Yeah, good football game. A blocked kick being the differential here, huh? How about that? And then
got to make an extra point
in game, and the dude runs a flag route for man coverage too. They're in zero coverage. Honestly, they dial up a full house blitz and they beat him on a corner route, on a simple corner route. Once I saw the guy break open, I was like, that's house money, man. That's a touchdown. That's TD. But yeah, great game. And once he scored, of course, you kind of knew they were gonna get the extra point for the win. But yeah, usually not entertained by FCS football, but the championship last night, when there's nothing else to watch and you got to watch it by default and you're treated to a game like that, great night. I also watched NBA and Capitals put up an extra point on the Ducks last night.
I had followed a little bit of FCS as we were getting towards the end because I knew that Stephen F. Austin was pretty close to getting into the championship game, and they, I guess, ultimately got beat by Montana State. So yeah, I was drawn into that a little bit, and it was, and they said this last night on the broadcast. And again, just smaller crowd. It's not the big schools, quote unquote. It is a very intimate feel to that game.
This was only the second time Montana State has ever captured the championship, right? And I think I heard them say it was since 1984.
Yeah, so that's
and that was cool. The first time Illinois State had been there too. So
yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that game. Good call there, Jason. It does remind me of Mel's Diner. You remember that show, Mel's Diner? That was a good show.
I do not.
Oh yeah, that was a good show. Or Alice, I think it was called, with Linda Lavin, Polly Holiday, Beth Howland, and Vic Tabak.
Now you got 10 years. You got 10 years on me, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's a good program. Good sitcom.
Right,
I got totally drawn into that.
Latte this morning, my man. I got some caramel all over the place here.
Damn, look at you. All I got is Hill Country Fair cheap ass coffee. So you're doing better than I am, but that's all right.
Yeah, I'm a little. I don't know. I love my frou drinks. You guys know that, man. I'll pass up on a nice bottle of whiskey for one of those little what do they call them? Dreamsicle rum shake, or Dreamsicle rum shakes with the umbrella in them.
Yeah,
get me with my pinky up and everything, man.
I don't know what happened
first, man. That's watched the Knicks and Pistons last night, and the Anaheim Ducks and Caps last night.
Got this right quick.
What we got?
Matt Eberflus out as the DC at the Dallas the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, just
much breaking news that you guys needed, right? Well, I guess he's out. Who are you guys looking to bring in? Or who would you prefer to come in there to run the defense for the Cowboys?
They'll probably hire somebody like Charles Haley or somebody that played there before. Yeah, I don't know what they'll do.
Okay, so you don't have an idea of
I really don't know what direction they'll go. I threw out Brian Flores yesterday. I would hope that that's where they're going to go, but I'm afraid that he's going to get scooped up maybe in a head coaching capacity, maybe by like the Raider or somebody like that. But I would love Brian Flores.
The Todd Bowles era is probably done in Tampa Bay, right? And I don't know if he'll get a head coaching job right away. But usually what happens, I mean, I think isn't the cycle, usually you go from head coach and, once you had a kind of a mid run as a head coach, you take a step back as a defense coordinator or offense coordinator, and then you get your position back as a head coach somewhere, right? There's usually some peaks and valleys with that, right? Would you be open to have Todd Bowles come in and run the defense for the Cowboys if he would be open to that?
I think if you can't get Brian Flores, that's a good option right there. Because what you need is a real aggressive.
I mean, I don't know if Todd Bowles would ever take a step down, right?
Yeah, well, you're going to have to. I mean, that's what happened. I mean, that we're talking about Flores here. That's what he's done. I mean, he's had to be a DC, to get past whatever didn't work out for him as a head coach. But I think the Flores move kind of two reasons. Number one, again, look, Brian Schottenheimer. I mean, I'm not going to say that he was in the coach of the year conversation, but I think Schotty
Dude,
did
if the Cowboys would have had a little bit better of a record, I think you could have thrown him in there for that conversation. I mean, when we were doing our superlatives, it did pop off, it kind of came into notion, right? But then you look at the record and you're just like, man, you can't give this guy with the roster talent that they had. In my opinion, I thought it was kind of a mid-season still, so I couldn't really put Shotney in that conversation, man.
And I got to tell you, one of the biggest criteria that I had for Shotty, one of the great things that he did this year was he managed to avoid all the Jerry Jones chaos. Jerry's going to do what he's going to do. Shotty just did his job. I mean, he just did, and look, the offense, as great as the offense was, I know he wasn't the OC, but I mean, that's a byproduct of Brian Schottenheimer.
No, for sure.
I think that's helping the progression of Dak Prescott this year. But this is a pretty important hire right here. And I think if you could get Flores, and I preface this saying that I'm not like pushing Shotty out the door, but if some reason that Schottenheimer's not going to be your guy in 2 or 3 years, if you bring in Brian Flores, that's a guy I think that you could elevate to become the head coach, kind of the coach in waiting. But Schottenheimer, look, I have no reason to call for his head, and I don't call for coaches' heads. I hate that. But I think that would be a really good hire.
I thought Schwartz was the runner-up for the head coaching position in Cleveland. Is that not on the table anymore for Schwartz?
That he seems to kind of be that name that's going that direction, is Jim Schwartz to Cleveland. I saw Raheem Morris thrown out there. I mean, that dude's freshly, free of a job. That's a guy that maybe you can bring in to kind of refresh that defense and go, build it. And again, like I said about with Eberflus, it's hard when you lose Micah Parsons. I mean, that's a big piece.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about, generational talent or a Hall of Fame player here that, you're losing basically the second most important position on the team if you're trying to counter the quarterback, right? I don't know, what do you value second greatest position over quarterback? Is it defensive end, edge rusher, or secondary, like lockdown corner?
I kind of think left tackle, to be honest with you.
Okay, all right.
The quarterback.
So if I'm valuing or marketing the defensive rooms or just any position room, I think if you're making quarterback number one, I think you got to counter that, right? I think you counter the quarterback room with the defensive edge rush. So a lot of people will sit there and say that it's secondary or cornerback. I'm big with that. I think edge rusher is like the second highest paid position in the NFL at this point too. So I'm going to go with edge.
It really is. This is a huge hire. I mean, it's always a huge hire when you're getting a defensive coordinator, but especially with the click that this offense is capable
and
of.
Dallas, and we kind of like what we talked about yesterday, right? If Dallas can fix a defense, you're in a legit conversation for at least the division championship, maybe even, throwing it out there for an NFC title or something like that. I don't know.
Let's just
the offense is there, right? The offense is a championship offense, right? It was number one offense in the league. Okay, you get the defense on. Hell, you get the defense to a mid-level, and you might even have contention for the division.
Yeah, the games that we saw this defense, and again, I think that one of the biggest things that Brian Schottenheimer did this year was he galvanized his team in the middle of the season with a tragedy that happened. When you lose a brother, when you lose a teammate, I mean, he really did a great job of bonding this team together, because I really thought that they were going to go just totally left field and just be done at that point, because this team typically doesn't handle tragedy or distraction or any of that very well. But I think that he really galvanized the team with the way that he spoke to them, and he's a player's coach. And that's when that defense kind of got to a different level, and people were saying, well, this could be an elite defense, but they came back down to earth, right? So I think that if you can get some pieces in there, that this hire is super important. But I just hope that we don't get into, remember last year at this time, Wags, we're sitting here, they're trying to figure out what's going to happen with Mike McCarthy. Remember, they were sitting here dicking the dog. Are we going to bring him back? Are we not going to bring him back? And finally all that happens.
It does
go get your guy.
Like you guys wait till or the Cowboys just wait to the last minute to do anything. Whether it's firing somebody, bringing somebody on, new personnel in, it's always last second procrastination with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. So we'll see. So we'll see how this. It's the same thing like I talk about with the Pickens thing. I hope this is resolved. Look, if you're going to sign him, I don't think you should. But if you're going to sign him, do it. Get it over with. Let's not have just another mess here. So, but that's what Dallas does. But yeah, Eberflus out.
All right, we got some transfer portal news that we'll be talking about. Keeping you up with some NBA and some NHL as well today, and other news. But first and foremost, what else we got up on the slate? Anything else?
I tell you what, before we get to basketball, let's finish out because there was let's see who else. Jonathan Gannon out with the Cardinals. We talked about him, so that goes down. So now what do you do with Kyler Murray? That was a really cool discussion yesterday because I was thinking about that after we got done, and it's like, okay, what do you do with him? I mean, it's a big hit there, and then with Tua and so forth. And I guess that was really the only other piece that fell. You got to remember the Giants and the Titans are still open.
Kyler Murray's such an enigma, right? Because you'd like to think that teams could use him, right? But just do you welcome that type of bullshit into your locker room? Like that's the thing. Like the guy can make plays, right? That's clear. But like, is his mentality there? That's the thing about it, all of it, right? And shit, 4 games into the season, he's checked out, mentally. So I just don't think that you welcome him into your locker room. Maybe moving forward, and I know that teams need starting quarterbacks. I understand that, but moving forward, maybe Kyler Murray gets downgraded to like a Justin Fields position to where he's a venturing backup,
journeyman,
or somewhere that somebody that's just trying to find a home where they have terrible quarterback disparity, which almost seems to be the entire NFL league. But
yeah, and Souls, you can call me Ronnie. That's okay. I mean, yesterday Humbug Holiday Lights came out to get my lights down yesterday. The dude walked up and he goes, "Ronnie, great show this morning." I'm like, "Hey, yeah, no problem."
I guess it depends on which day. Who's here, Rodney or Rodney, huh?
Yeah, it all depends. But I think that this is more an underlying thing with Kyler Murray, with easily distracted. Apparently, I think he's very entitled. I think he still feels entitled, and to me, just doesn't seem like a very good locker room guy. You know what I mean, Wags? I mean, is that a dude that you'd sit there and watch him, and you'd be like, okay, that's a guy right there.
Locker room guy. In order to be a good leader, you got to give a shit. Right. And this guy doesn't give it. In my opinion, based off of what I can see, it doesn't seem like he gives a shit.
Yeah. That's a problem. I mean, that's a big problem. And that goes back to, because I like I've said, Wags, I called his high school games. The dude seemed very about himself in those situations. It was, state semifinals and state championship games. The dude was all about himself. And that's.
So what else? What's the other news out of the desert? They looking for a new coach is gone, bringing in a new coach, right?
Still, yeah, gonna need a new coach. Other thing I wanted to ask you, I saw that our man Cliff Kingsbury possibly going to interview for your Giants job and the Titans.
Did you say Cliff Crable?
Yeah, Cliff Crable. Cliff Crable.
Do you know who
we've never told that story yet?
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh, Cliff I know Crable? Who you're talking about from the other place.
Which story you want? When I called him out on his bullshit and nobody did anything about it, right to his face, and nobody did anything about it.
I didn't know that part. I just knew
he was an Army veteran, and I said, "What unit are you in? What unit were you in?" Couldn't even answer it. He walked away. I'm just like, "That's a little odd." I said, "Hey there, Warrior, you said you served. Who'd you serve with?" He goes, "Oh man, I can't remember." I said, "You can't remember the unit that you served with? What'd you get? Did you get your bell rung that bad?" And you're joking around with him, right? And then he just walked away. I looked at BK. I said, "That motherfucker's a fake. He ain't." Sure enough, it all came out about a year later.
So what Wags is talking about, there was a guy
like, if you can't answer that question, that simple question, what unit were you with? Come the hell on, buddy.
This was a guy that worked at the Horn with us. And I'll tell you the greatest thing that I love about it, ultimately when his shit fell apart, I got a Saturday show. So it's
you're talking about Cliff Crable?
Yeah. When he went away.
Those of you guys that don't know who we're talking about, Cliff Crable. Came on here, did one hell of a con artist thing. Said that he played football back out east, didn't understand that there was this thing called Google and we could do search engines on everybody.
It worked then, right? Was that his radio name or
Cliff Crable was his. I don't know what his real name was.
He had a different name.
His name. It was definitely a different alias, but Cliff was not his real name. So
they were all into the barbecue thing. Remember that they did that? They would do the barbecue,
tailgate shit or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a great niche, right? We didn't have it at the radio station, but just the things that he would say just didn't add up, right? And I was just like, right after the first get, and then he would go around saying, my PTSD is killing me. I'm like, motherfucker, we don't talk like that. That's not, we don't go around saying my PTSD is killing me. Shut the hell up.
Yeah. I remember all that shit went down, and somebody had whispered in my ear that the motorsports show had gone away. Somebody that's on the screen with me, that wasn't going to be on anymore. And then this dude's out of town. You know, they figured this guy out. Y'all figured this guy out. Next thing I was on the air in 2 days. So that's kind of how this all ties together. Oh man.
They needed somebody to fill that content. I don't know how the hell we got down that rabbit hole, but yeah, Cliff Crable.
Yeah.
Don't know where you're doing. Hopefully you're doing miserably, big guy. Hopefully big. And that's another thing too. He would shrink. He would take pictures and he would crop himself, make himself skinnier. Bro, we all know what's going on. We see how fat you are.
He had that little bitty lady that was like his partner. It was him, little bitty lady, and then some like young dude. And they were like the traveling group of the barbecue.
He would also go into all the strip clubs and promise all these strippers a whole bunch of, empty promises and then bring them into the radio station the next day. And we'd be walking in like, what the hell are all these girls doing following Cliff around like this? Sure enough, they were all dancing at the Yellow Rose or Palacios or some shit like that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Your interview process was an epic fail. There was no interview process over there. It's like they checked you for a pulse. They're like, all right, you're hired. Come on in.
I mean, shout out to Eric Hogan, bro. Did not vet that dude at all. And when I told him that he was an absolute fake, he didn't care. Didn't and that's when shit started bugging me a little bit around there. Like,
yeah, that was, I do remember.
Oh well. That. All right. Water under the bridge and shit. Where you want to go next?
Let's go to the NBA. Yeah, you talked about the NBA. I did turn on a little bit of the NBA before I got enthralled in this FCS, as my wife said, white dude matchup last night. Asking APD1, asking on the code of text line, did Rodney say lose a brother? There weren't any brothers. No, I say that. I mean, there were some brothers out there playing last night. But what caught you last night? Which game did you hone in on?
Watched the Pistons and the Knicks last night.
That's the one I started.
Matchup of two of the better guards, probably two of the best guards in our league, right, or in the league right now, between Cunningham and Brunson there. Pistons got the dub last night, but just getting back into the groove and the vibe of basketball and hoops, man. College basketball is still kind of dominating mostly, but getting into that NBA flow again and just trying to figure out who the better teams are going to be in the East, man, because it seems like we got everything situated in the West.
I think the New York Knicks are in a spot right now to where they. I mean, I don't know.
They're for real. They're contenders.
Oh yeah,
I think they're. I don't. Let me pull up the standings right here. I think they're top 5. I know that they're 3. They're 3. So Pistons were 1 and Knicks were 3 last night. So
yeah,
and then of course you got the Celtics that are always relevant. Sitting there at the 2 spot.
Yeah. No, I think the Knicks are in a position to make a run right here. Can they beat Oklahoma City? I mean, everybody's crowning Oklahoma City, but apparently Oklahoma City has one Achilles heel that they can't get over, namely San Antonio. But
Spurs are breathing down the neck, so
Spurs are there, and I keep hearing that discussion about
Spurs just don't go away, man. You think maybe you get a couple of years of the Spurs being in the basement? Nah, it ain't happening.
Well, it's like, can anybody beat Oklahoma City in a 7-game series? Well, Spurs, I mean, I know it isn't all back to back and all that, but it kind of has been. The Spurs beat them 3 times. 3? I think it's 3 times. So anyway, but that's another discussion. But I think that the Knicks are loaded in a spot right now. And Mike Brown, this is where I go back to watching the Knicks. Why couldn't the coach before use a rotation like Mike Brown is doing right now with the Knicks? Because remember, there was just stay with the same guys.
Sometimes. Well, who are you talking about? Tibbs?
Yeah, Thibodeau.
Well, I mean, that's what Tibbs is known for, right? Tibbs is known for going with players that he knows, going with trust issues with his players, and only using maybe 7 players and breaking them, like absolutely breaking their bodies down completely. You have to have a high payload to play for Tibbs, right? High impact, high defense, high demand for Tibbs's type of offense or type of basketball prowess.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that the Knicks are very much in a spot to make a run right now, and I kind of have them coming out of the East. To be honest,
What's crazy? Have you seen where the Pacers are at?
Mm-hmm.
At the bottom of the barrel, man. This is a team. Carlisle and company was up there at the top of the East last year, and now bottom of the barrel in the beef.
Yeah, absolutely. On TSU, that's TSU. I thought you were talking about.
Hold on, was the all-woman show on TSU better than the fake Army vet show? I don't know if it was a fake Army vet show, Glenn, but he did he was a fake Army vet, but I think they specialized in the tailgate scene and what are we gonna do for the game this week and shit like that. I'll be honest, I never really listened to his show. I kind of knew it was bullshit anyways. So
yeah.
The thing was that the guy came on right before I did, and it kind of actually no. When it first started, he was on right before I was, and then they moved him to Saturday.
Yeah.
So
yeah. They were the barbecue thing, but honestly, to me, with the barbecue thing, like when Casey and them, when the Big Uglies, I mean, that was more if you wanted the down home barbecue style.
Oh yeah, that was Sunday. That was Sunday morning. Casey and the guys. The all women show was actually Jill and Stacy.
That was a great show.
I thought they were fantastic. I didn't really know Claire too much when Claire started off, but once Claire left, I felt like the show bumped up a little bit more when it was just Stacy and Jill. Yeah, I thought they were great.
Yeah, they came in after our show, so it was like we would exit and then here they come. So yeah, they were great. I think the other show that's being referenced was the one that was here on TSU.
That show.
Our take was great. Those ladies, they were really good. But those are, I mean, no offense to the other two, but those were. You remember Stacy was at KVU at the time.
Oh, yeah, and Jill was working
Jill worked for the Express. So, yeah, Jill worked.
And you want to talk? And Jill's got the gift of the gab. Jill could probably be a great play-by-play baseball announcer.
Yeah,
she can just tell. She paints a picture. She tells a great story. Got the gift of it, man.
Yeah, those two were great. And I do say we got to give some love to our man Craig Flowers. That was I would have people ask me that's not a sports show.
You're taking us down a tour here, huh?
They would talk about Craig would talk about sports because he played baseball at TCU and all that, but
more Craig, baseball, but mostly wine, right? Craig talked about wine.
He was good at that. Yeah, the high ground, high ground
from the high grounds.
You remember?
Right, hey, you know who else is great?
Hey, remember on the high ground? On the high ground, his intro. Don't forget to pop your flipper.
Sorry, I can't remember the intro. But anyways, Ryan Hurricane Hecht. When the storm hits, you got to give our guy a call. 512-938-8929 is the number. Email Ryan at hechtlawfirm.com. That's hechtlawfirm.com. HECHT lawfirm.com. Aggressive in the courtroom, compassionate with his clients. Ryan knows what you're going through, and he's going to fight like hell to make things right for you, right? He's going to push those insurance companies away so that you don't have to deal with them. He's going to blow the doors off the entire case, right? He's going to bring that burnt orange suit in, walk in strapping, and then he's going to represent you and all that you have in this court case that you're going to be going with, man. If you're injured in a car accident, personal injury at all, you just give our guy Ryan a call. 512-938-8929. That's 512-938-8929. Or email Ryan again at this email, hechtlawfirm.com. That's Ryan at HECHTlawfirm.com. Tell him the crew from TSU sent you.
And Jason, this is the guy that Wags has been talking about. This is that Cliff Clavin guy. The imposter. That's the guy. That's the one.
Bevo Lance, can you not remember Cliff? There's got to be pictures of Cliff Crable on the internet. He's the infamous Cliff Crable.
Trying to think of what his name was.
Said that he was a fullback at the University of Penn. Motherfucker tried to say that he was Ivy League. Ivy League. The dude couldn't even turn a computer on, and he said he was Ivy League.
Oh yeah. Man. Well, he brought money though. It was just dirty money. I'm assuming.
Bullshit usually brings him money.
Oh my God, I tell you,
bullshit usually does, man. You can't stop shit.
crazy times, man. You can't make this shit up. So that place, so many great people roll through there, but it was like others. It's like, God dang. Yeah. Anyway, I'll tell you, great people.
You got me on one today, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's what we do. We got the extra time.
I enjoy the 2 hours, man. I don't feel rushed to get all this shit out. We ain't got to spew it out. We actually have a morning show that we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're this afternoon or tonight or this week or this year, for crying out loud, want to find that newer pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, man, I can't recommend. It's on the screen back here. It's on the Tom McKay screen. It's Covert BK, 42 beautiful acres of the Chariots, as Wags talks about. Newer pre-owned. They're going to make it as easy as possible for you. It's the service. It's the service after the sale. It's Covert BK. For over 100 years, the Covert Auto Group. They have been serving, I'm not just going to say Central Texans, because I have friends in the upper north part of the United States. I have friends east and west that have bought a Covert vehicle. The first brand new vehicle I ever bought, I bought from Jenny Covert out at Bastrop, for crying out loud. 1996 GMC C1500 that still sits over at my dad's place. It's Covert BK. Check them out today, and you could be a satisfied customer just like these folks.
You see Covert everywhere. It's that personal level of just feeling like it's a personal family interaction.
The customer service, it's impeccable. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced buying a car.
Over the 30 years that I've been buying cars from them, I feel like I know them and they know me.
Covert's done an amazing job of making me feel valued. If you purchase a vehicle and you want to feel like you're part of a family, join the Covert family.
Come and experience it for yourself.
Covert, born and raised in Austin.
Nobody beats a Covert deal. Not now, not ever. Check them out today online at covertbcave.com. I'm wearing my McCall Custom Homes lid today. I've got two of these courtesy of my man, Mike McCall. Those are the folks that you want to do some business with. If you've got a home renovation project, indoor or outdoor, want to spend some time outside? When's it going to get cold? I don't know, February or March. Plenty of time to enjoy that outdoor patio space. And when it gets cold, it's not going to last very long. So you can get yourself something out there. You've got an old beat up patio that needs a little bit of TLC, or you want to build a new space. You want a putting green. I heard Bucky talking this morning about his driving net. I might have to call my man Mike about one of those. Hopefully I can hit it into the net and don't hit somebody's house. But that's a conversation for later on. All of that can be done by our friends at McCall Custom Homes. Check them out online at McCall Custom Homes, ATX.com. Free estimates right now if you're a TSU listener or viewer. 512-633-9580. Again, that's 512-633-9580. Be sure and mention Texas Sports Unfiltered. You've got a home. You've got equity in your home. You do things to build value to your home. You go out, you do some landscaping stuff. You do different things. Really get to the nuts and bolts. Get to the bones of the house. Renovate your kitchen. Renovate your living space. Renovate your primary bedroom and bath. Those are the spots right there that are really going to add value. You retrofit it, you make it modern, and it's going to look really good on top of all of that. For over 40 years, family owned and operated. It's a father-son team. Check out the A+ ratings from the Better Business Bureau online. You can also check out all of the great Google reviews. You're probably going to see your man, old Double R, with his name there as well. 512-633-9580. McCall Custom Homes, ATX.com. McCall Custom Homes, we build value into your home. Also, Tom McKay, he's got us all hooked up here with TSU. We enjoy no matter the sport, no matter what it is. NASCAR's coming back in February. By the way, the NASCAR commissioner abruptly resigned today. Be looking for a revved up about that. But with audiovisual consultations, make that indoor or outdoor space with the audio and visual. Make it a reality in 2020.
Hi, this is Tom McKay, owner of Audiovisual Consultations. We've been providing custom electronic systems for Central Texas for more than 36 years. And
old man, I think they all know who you are and what your company does. This is Camilla McKay. The old man believes in big fun and big ideas. He can make dreams come true, so why not dream big? I've been up in Boston, but I know the old man and all his friends and fellow radio heads have been spreading the holiday spirit here in Texas. Why should we stop there? Keep spreading the good feelings all over. Audiovisual Consultations carries all major brands of televisions and stereo equipment at prices you can't find in stores. And you don't have to leave your house. Just like Santa, they deliver the gifts to you.
Yeah, I like that, kid. Throw a party, hang out with your friends, catch a concert.
That's all fun and good, but can we get back to the business? You can give us a call at 512-255-8678 or visit our website at avconsultations.com for some cool electronics.
Oh, now you're forgetting something.
And as always, hug your kids. We only pretend to be annoyed. Watch some games with your friends and make love to whoever the hell you want.
There it is. avconsultations.com, 512-255-8678. Code to text line is blowing and going. A lot of people saying that they watched several people saying they watched the FCS championship last night. That was, that was just really a good game to watch,
right?
Yeah. I mean, it was good. Hey, it's football. That's the best part about it. You got football, and it's kind of where we're going to be in that laxed period right now where the football's slowly starting to dwindle.
I turned it on last night just on the sole. I guess I was intrigued with the quarterback play, right? I wanted to see how the quarterback play would be in FCS, right? And I'll be honest with you. I mean, consider the opposition, right? But Illinois State defense was pretty damn nasty, especially in the second half, right? You see why scouts, venture out and hit into the FCS, at times and go up and find that gem in the rough, what I mean? Or that diamond in the rough. There's some people that can make some plays there. Was Julian Edelman from FCS?
Might have been. I'm not sure.
I thought he was from like one of those small schools or something like that.
Yeah. And that really is the thing where it does, call it the proving ground, call it whatever you want to call it. What I like about FCS is that you get so many athletes, and it's a very small percentage of, kids that come out of, that's like when I call a high school football game and it's like at the end of the year and the seniors are playing, it's like, I always try to make special, be sure and point out a lot of these guys never get to play again. And it's a great spot, and a lot of them do get to take that next step. And that really was, and I think that last night with that game, I think Illinois State was kind of somewhat of a Cinderella type of thing.
Yeah, it was their first time going there. I mean, that was going to be their first appearance. So yeah. I don't know if they were Cinderellas to the point where they hadn't been contending before, but you probably know more about that than I did.
Yeah, no, it was good. I mean, I kept it on. I mean, not like it takes a lot of football interest to hold me. I'll sit there and watch a game from 25 years ago. So anyway, and
good morning, Noe. We see you, buddy.
Yeah.
Mr. Hinosa. What else we got to get to today? We do have some transfer news that we need to talk to. Some inbound transfer news instead of outbound. Oh, I guess we need to talk about where Trey's going to land too. So, or where he did land. But yeah, man, anything else? So Bebo Landscape, it's Crable, Cable was his, Criff Crable, Crable, Criff Crable, Crable. That's how he spelled the last name. I'm pretty sure he's in jail, right? The last thing I heard about him, he got caught on a con in Georgia or something, taking fundraisers money, like seriously, like a PTA or a PTO or some shit like that. Taking fundraiser money and shit.
And that show, I can't remember his pseudo name, and I can't remember the name of the show.
I can't remember the name of the show. I think it was Texas Tailgate.
You know what I'll do today when I get done? I'll reach out to KK. She can tell us. She will be able to tell us.
Christina knows. Christina's got the pulse on everything. So
yeah,
she'd definitely be able to tell us. But yeah, that son of a bitch, man.
Yeah,
he got it. And you know what pissed me off the most about it is that they were so desperate for not the show, but the radio station was so desperate for money they didn't listen to what I was saying. Like they didn't take in my consideration of I'm a real dude. This guy's a vet. This guy's doing stolen valor. How do you think that makes me feel? Well, they didn't give a fuck about my feelings anyways. But I mean, still. I don't know. Like they wondered why I came into that, the radio station pissed off from time to time. It's because no one gave a shit about any of us that were actually doing the real work. So, anyways, there's my stump. I'm done.
Well, and the bad thing is when all that shit finally hit the fan, it was just a bad look for the organization, for the station. I mean, for the Horn, for Coke, for all of it. The bat. It was like, man, this guy swindled you.
Well, yeah. Bad news. All right, where do you want to go next, partner?
So what'd you see on the ice last night? You mentioned the ice a couple of times.
Oh, yeah, I just watched I watched Caps and the Ducks. Capitals get 7, got the extra point. 7 goals, baby. 7 goals, man.
Nice.
I mean, and look, the Ducks, I don't want to say that Ducks are a down team. I mean, hell, the Ducks are just as good as the Caps right now. But I mean, you allow 7 on your pond. That's not really exactly the great thing. But anyways, we kind of talked about it before the beginning of the season for the NHL. We talked about who the stalwarts were going to be, or who we thought the stalwarts were going to be out the West. Anaheim wasn't one of them. Can you take a guess on the top 4 teams that are in the West right now?
Dallas, Edmonton, and I'm lost after that.
Go ahead, keep going.
Dallas, Edmonton. I don't know. I'm lost after that.
You got 2 of them. You got 2 of them. Dallas, Edmonton, Vegas.
Oh, Vegas. Vegas.
And Colorado. That's
Colorado.
The top 4.
What's the ones that are always at the top?
It beat me to my point. You guessed it.
Jeez,
well. It's not Chris Crable, Rodney. Cliff Crable. I know. I'm sure you probably looked for Cliff Crable too, but yeah, Chris Crable is probably the only thing close that you'll be able to find. That means they removed everything from this guy. I'm not on Facebook anymore. The last place that I saw him was on Facebook, and he literally took some dude from not Penn State, like Penn University, at Ivy League Penn University. BK actually knew the fucking guy's name, like the fullback's name, like Phil Goodhoodie or so. I can't remember the dude's last name, but this guy tried to represent himself or present himself as that guy. He even made a post with, "Looked pretty good back in the day, didn't I?" And people loved it. People liked it. I mean, it's the guy was legit. I've heard about con artists before, never seen one in my life up close in person until I saw that big fat fuck Cliff Crable.
It was one of those things to where the guy, the way he presented himself as having played football and all that. I mean, I have seen and know a lot of people that played football at a somewhat high level that you look at him. No,
this guy couldn't wipe his own ass.
Yeah, this dude just kind of always seemed, it was that thing where this dude always seemed like he was up to something, which I guess he ultimately was.
I mean, you just know, right? Your gut can tell. You get around fishy people and your gut can just sense it. Your gut can tell.
Yeah. No, I didn't know about the part where you called him out. I didn't know about that.
Oh yeah, I called him out first day. I called him out. I looked right at BK, and BK couldn't do anything about it. He was just a producer at the time. But I told Aaron, I was like, that guy's a fake. Didn't do a fucking thing. So it is what it is. Anyways, let's get on to some more sports, man. But yeah, that's the story. We'll keep coming back to the Cliff Crable story. If you guys can find him out there, let me know. I'd love to troll his ass.
Oh man.
You know what he's probably doing? He's probably doing some type of phone bullshit to where he's conning people out of phone scams and shit.
That or he's a motivational speaker. One of the two. He's probably, if he's learned his ways,
speaker telling people how to con people.
Well, if he's learned, if he's been fixed or whatever, that's what he's doing. He's talking about the wrongs that he's committed and how to be a better person. I bet that's what he's doing, Wags.
How about some transfer portal news, buddy?
Hey, I want to play you a little piece of sound that I cut up this morning because the old man and me, the Ronnie and me, with the transfer portal, no loyalty or whatever, Trinidad Chambliss.
Dude, that could be the Ronnie and me could be a song.
The Ronnie and me. That is pretty good. I have to start writing that. I got a guitar right over there. Maybe I'll perform it live one day. The Ronnie and me.
All right, where we go?
Trinidad Chambliss, if he gets his waiver, which I'm sure he will.
6 years, going for the 6 years. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, he wants to stay. He wants to be at Ole Miss. So
yeah. Speaking of that, did you see that there was a quarterback at Tarleton State named Ben Holmes that played at one point? He's now 31 years old, and he's been granted a waiver to play at 31 for the 7th year.
John's son?
Yeah, I think that's probably what it was.
John Holmes' son?
It's probably an all-female committee, and he came rolling in. They're like, done.
Tuck it in your sock, buddy. Things can happen.
Put it in. Trinidad Chambliss explaining why he's staying at Ole Miss.
Ever since I got here, from the moment I got here, on my visit in May or in April, it just felt like home. And, they just embraced me as a community and just, loved my family. And it just felt like home since I got here. And I guess, but not really. I mean, I knew that was right. And, I always have trust in, PG and, Coach Judge. And yeah, I made that decision last night, very late. Talked to my agent and my family, and, it was the best decision. And it was the best situation for me. And, I owe it to Ole Miss,
I owe it to Ole Miss.
That's refreshing to hear.
It's unheard of, right? Yeah.
And that could be coach speak or player speak, whatever you want to, good PR, right? But I mean, that's the shit that I want to hear, right? I feel like loyalty's kind of leaving the institutions, and rightfully so. Like, you honestly should be protecting yourself and getting your paycheck up, right? You really should. But you remember that it comes down to the guys on the left and to the right of you as well, right? You're playing for a team, and football apparently is the ultimate team sport, right?
Yeah.
If you don't do your individual job, your own individual job, your team doesn't succeed. You can't, get into the end zone, or you can't stop the team that's trying to get into the end zone. So it takes everybody, man. It takes hat on hat. So when you hear things like that, that's God, Chambliss, if things don't ever work out, come to Texas Longhorns just to be a backup. You know what I mean? Or hell, bro, like, well, I'll take you as a New York Giant, man. Backup Jackson Dart. But no, that's the type of shit that's the type of player that you want on your team. Somebody that cares about the institution, somebody that cares about the team itself.
That's where I think Fernando Mendoza.
There was a nice little check that helped that out, though.
Oh, of course, yeah. There's always that part. Yeah,
and this is still like we're still waiting to see if he gets approved for his 6 years. So he's got another redshirt year that he's going for.
He was asked specifically about LSU, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm sure that's there, but I just feel like this is where I need to be," and that's great. I mean, he may be doing a Cliff Crable there and bullshitting us, but hey, man, I feel it. I believe it. Gave me the feels a little bit. I'm like, I like that. I mean, I do like that, but it's
also, too, like the writing's on it. Like, Ole Miss has got a pretty damn good offense, right? And with this guy as the general, or this guy as the engine, you'd like to think that they can go pretty far again next year. Hell, Charlie Weis Jr. is still going to be able to coach.
He's going to be the coach. Yeah.
All right. It's not too far out of the question to say that Ole Miss can make a run at this thing. Seriously, I mean,
yeah, I really hope that I think
thought
that
last year was the year for Ole Miss, but this could be like crazy enough. This could be the year for Ole Miss.
I think this day and era of college football, that if you get the Indiana Ole Miss matchup, if you get that in the final, that really is going to be something to where it's going to be a good feeling. I think it'd probably be a really good football game too. But
I think it's going to be good football regardless of that. I'm cool with seeing Oregon in the national championship. I'm cool with seeing Indiana in the national championship. I'd like to see Ole Miss instead of Miami, sure. But even if Miami gets into the national championship, I'm cool with seeing that. Like, I think we got 4 teams that I'm okay. I think we all are okay with seeing, in the Natty. So.
Yeah, it's not Georgia. It's not, what we're used to seeing. It is something different. And if your team can't be in there, some parity in there, I think is really good. And kind of talking there about Chambliss, Fernando Mendoza is another guy that when he speaks, you feel what he's talking about. Boy, have you noticed that guy? He stares right in that camera.
Oh, yeah.
Like when they talk to him after the game, he's like, damn.
No, he addressed the confidence. There's not a confidence issue with Chambliss. So
yeah, absolutely. So I think those are 2 great stories. If you get that in the national championship, that's I don't know about huge ratings, but
do you have a personal favorite that you're pulling for?
I think at this point that I am going for. I think I want Indiana to win. I've got a lot of friends in Indiana, of course, with racing. Racing is huge in Indiana with Indianapolis. I've got a lot of folks that have reached out to me, and they're like, "Man, our football team's really good. Have you noticed our football team's good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have fucking noticed. They're number 1."
Everybody's noticed. I think I want Ole Miss to win just because of all the shit that's gone down, right? Lane leaving too. I mean, it's just been one hell of a soap opera there with Ole Miss, and I'm not saying that schools deserve it and shit like that, but damn, if there is a school that deserves it, Ole Miss would be, my vote for number 1. Indiana's probably going to win this bad boy. Everybody loves Cignetti right now. He's the hottest commodity right now in all of college football, and rightfully so, right? He's everybody's story. too. And I don't think Indiana's going away. I don't.
No.
I think Indiana will be back here, competing for the Big Ten and probably in the playoff next year. Their success with the portal, which brings me to my point. We'll be talking about our portal moves in just a second, but they've had tremendous success within the portal, especially early so far. So I don't think Indiana's going away. I would like to see. I guess I'd like to see Indiana and Ole Miss ultimately as the national championship game. I know Oregon hasn't won a national championship either, but I don't think Oregon's going away at this point. I think Oregon and Indiana are going to be at the top of the Big Ten. I'd like to see a team that probably won't get back there, and I don't know if Ole Miss will have a chance to get back there. Ole Miss, they got a pretty damn good offense, and if Chambliss comes back, they'll have some opportunity.
Yeah,
but still, Ole Miss is in the SEC, all right? And I'm not trying to say that the SEC is, thump my chest and say that the SEC is, the best conference out there. But for Ole Miss to repeat its success in the SEC, I think is a little bit more of a long shot than, say, the Oregon or Indiana in the Big Ten, right? Or Miami in the ACC. Miami's going to run the ACC, okay? Oregon and Indiana will be at the top of the Big Ten. They'll have a chance to get back to the playoff. I'm not sure Ole Miss will be here next year.
Yeah, the money is going to win out. I mean, it's just the way it is. But kind of my thought on this is, if your team, if the team that you back, the team that you support, if they can't go on some kind of dynastic, well, let's not even use dynastic, because I don't think that's possible right now with this environment that we're in. If your team can't go on a run right now, then I want 4 different teams like this as often as possible. If it's Texas every year, ideally that's what you want. But when you get what you have here, but right now we like Indiana. Indiana's a great story, but if they do this the next few years, how long before we're like, oh God, Indiana again?
That's what I'm saying. Like, when's Indiana going to become the villain, right?
Right.
When because it's only a matter of time until people get sick of winning and people get sick of Signetti. It's just they're going to have Signetti fatigue, sooner or later. So Bear, I'm okay with Lane getting paid, right? I'm ultimately looking at Ole Miss's success over Lane's success, okay? And honestly, if Ole Miss goes on to win the national championship, I know I've talked about Charlie Weiss Jr. for a while here. Like, Charlie Weiss Jr. might be at LSU for a couple of seasons, and then I think people will start remembering, remember what Charlie Weiss Jr. did when he was separated from Lane, right?
Yep.
When Lane left early and went over to LSU, and Charlie Weiss Jr. was bringing, that offense, to the national championship. I think this could propel Charlie Weiss Jr. into a head coaching position.
Yeah, no, I think this really is
not breaking news, right?
Yeah, it's a great chance, I think, for him to be able to put that stamp. I can do this without. And the same thing, now that, and I love what Ole Miss really did with this. I think I pointed this out when Lane left, and they're like, "This is the head coach, not interim. This is our head coach right now, moving forward."
I think that was a very, very solid move, right?
That was handled very well. Yeah. I think that was handled very well. And, it is very weird that we're sitting here at the end of the season. We're in the semifinals of the college football playoff. Yes, there's an SEC team involved. It's not Georgia. It's not Alabama. It's not Texas. It's not any of that. It's Ole Miss. And that's good for the sport. That's good for the sport. CB dives in here. This is Cliff Crable. Tailgate country, because Christina just messaged me. It's tailgate country.
Studied at University of Pennsylvania. Is the guy, Cliff Crable? Holy shit! Where did you find this guy?
CB did it. Surprisingly, there he is.
CB, there he is. CB,
right there.
He is. Is he still on Facebook?
There he is.
No way! Look, can you zoom that in?
No
fucking way, bro.
But that's him. That's him.
Rodney, Control Plus on your computer.
Yeah, it won't open up. It won't open up the actual window where he's at. But that's him. I remember that dude.
And he was. You see how that's just a straight figure, like a silhouette.
Yeah.
Never mind. You pulled it off. But anyways, you need
I'm
help
gonna
with
get
that.
that
There
down
you
there.
go. All
Yeah.
right.
I'm gonna get that down there. Yeah, there he is. That's him. CB, well done.
CB, where did you find that? If you could, type that in the chat for us, where I can go and see that. Maybe I can do some snooping and investigating myself and turn them into some of my friends that still work in the Pentagon. So.
Oh my God, that is unbelievable. Yep, that is definitely him. And by the way, for all of
kidding, dude, it's stiff. It's not the TSU mafia or the underground. It's mainly just producer CB, right?
Yeah.
CB 5,000. What was it? CB 9,000, CB 5,000. I don't know. He's a robot. We all know that.
It's so funny because like I travel a lot to Dallas, and over there with their 105.3 with their fan station, they talk about the Tolos and all those people. I'm like, they ain't got shit on our TSU people. These are the real. This is the mafia, whatever you want to call them. That's the real thing. Yeah, they ain't got anything. Man, that is.
All right, we got some transfer portal news to get into. Where do you want to go first? You want to go defense side of the house or offense side of the house?
Oh man, I'm still all over this guy over here. That dude, he really is. He's still on there. Tailgate country.
So, what was his real name? Is his real name on there by any chance?
His real name isn't. Christina said she thinks it was Thomas Cagle.
She's right. You've already texted KK?
Oh yeah, she already answered. Yeah, she says everybody, I love you guys. She's like all of our listeners or whatever. She's tell everyone Happy New Year, miss us. With a bunch of burnt orange hearts. So
my God, tell her we love her. Yeah, tell her thanks for the nugget too. It's definitely Thomas Cagle was his last name. I didn't know his first name. I didn't know his first name. Absolutely. My God, look at you guys just pulling up the nuggets.
This is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. TSU Mafia, man. That's how we do it. That is absolutely how we do it.
All right, so we got some hypothetical. Coleman's still coming in.
I mean, he visited here. He visited A&M. I would think he'd be more if he's all about sights and sounds and shit. I needed to take him on that ghost tour I did on Saturday night. He'd sign right now, man. I was like, hell, that's the kind of stuff you want to know. Pretty damn big bags, I'm sure, that's coming his way. But I don't know. Is he coming? I mean, they're kind of doing the Jerry Jones effect right here, dragging this thing out a little.
What's the bag up to now? $4 million? I think Kurt Bowles put out there $4 million is what he was asking for. I think they're trying to keep it around $3 million from what my last conversation with Jordan. But yeah, this is clearly wideout target number one for our wideouts, trying to get this guy in. But if Coleman does not arrive to the burnt orange in the 40 acres, where do you turn to? Who's your top wide? Do you make Wingo your number one? Do you try and make Wingo your number one, or do you allow for success coming up from some of your junior classmen?
I really think that with Ryan Wingo and Emmett Mosley, that you have
Lockett showed out.
Yeah. I would be more concerned, and this is where I kind of go to when we start talking about $4 or $5 million. I mean, do you really need to do that? I think there's other needs where you need to go and with the secondary, solidify the offensive lineup a little bit. Apparently, you've got a tight end, which I think that the Michigan State tight end coming in, he doesn't have numbers that are going to blow you off the map or anything, but the tight end is so important in Steve Sarkisian's offense. I think that having 2 or 3 of those guys there that can play that position is really good, that you've gone to the portal and taken care of that part. That's just a lot of money for a wide receiver, dude.
You talking about Masunis?
Yeah, Masunis. Yeah.
The thing about Masunis is that he's huge, right? Hell of a frame on the guy too. So a little bit bigger than the injuries, I believe. I think if I'm trying to pull his, he's 6'5". No, sorry, I got the wrong. I got Jeffrard's.
Well, he 19 catches, 232 yards, 3 touchdowns is what he had this year.
But what's his size? What's Masunis' size?
Oh shit, I didn't jot that down. But so much more about with the tight end position is, I mean, I know it's only 19 catches, but it's the other stuff that the tight end needs to do. I mean, that's essentially at times another run blocker, which what are you going to do?
Well, that's what I would argue that's what we need more from our tight ends anyways, is more run blocking and being able to allow us to get to the edge. Right.
I agree. I agree, because I think that this staff is pretty high on Nick Townsend. I think that that's a young guy. We saw him make plays in the Cheez-Its Bowl.
Yeah.
So I think you got a pretty good balance.
Again, Townsend and Lockett, right? Townsend and Lockett.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
rather Townsend on the defensive front, and then Lockett on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, but that wide receiver one, and this is where I think going into the second year of the Arch Manning era.
I'm sorry, man. I'm getting a whole bunch of people asking me questions about Cliff Crable.
That's okay. I'm not looking at the phone because I did have some of that coming in myself. But the whole thing is you're going into year 2 of the Arch Manning era. I think that with Wingo and Mosley, you're in a pretty good spot. You're in a pretty good. We started to see that working.
I'm sorry, one sec. What year was this? What year did this go down with Cliff Crable?
That would have been 2016, 17, or 18. So somewhere in that time.
You just give me a 4-year window.
Yeah. So when did I think?
Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm trying to answer this. This guy's trying to look up Cliff Crable. One of my buddies from the military is trying to look up Cliff Crable.
Golly, I don't. What year did the place close?
Right, 2018.
I'd say 2018. Yeah, 2018.
Okay, I'm very sorry. What were you talking about? I'm very sorry.
It does say on his personal details as well, divorced. All right. Oh man, yeah. His pictures. There it is with their show. He's got something up about Horn Bash.
Horn Bash. But that's what he would do. He would go in, right? He would show like a couple of pictures to the strippers, and he'd be like, "Hey, you want to be on the radio?" And he'd bring them in the next day, and we'd be walking in, and Zay would be with me too, right? Because Zay was on the show at that time. This was before the right call. He started doing the right call, right?
Yeah.
Zay would be coming in. We'd be walking in, and there would be like attractive girls walking with Cliff, and be like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, what does this guy have, right? What does he hold? What does he possess here, right? Just a bag of lies, just a bag of empty promises, and saying that they're going to make strippers famous and shit by bringing them onto the radio and presenting that whole naivete. Oh man,
yeah. This is February 21st, 2019 for the Hornbash Cook-Off. He probably ran that, right? That was probably.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably conned somebody's money out of that. All right, let's get back into it. We were talking about more transfer news. Masunis, the tight end, coming in, and then Drafard as well for defensive tackles here. Excuse me, am I pronouncing that right? Jaffrard? Jaffrard. The G is strong. So
I think that guy from Arkansas, he's a nose guard, isn't he? He's a nose tackle.
So he can get in some 2 technique as well. But also, I mean, you're talking about a guy that kind of fits Muschamp's kind of mold right now. I don't know if Coach Boone's going to roll out the 3-4 or the 4-3 when he comes here. I'm sure we'll probably see multiple defenses, knowing Coach Boone. But this dude, like, he's what he needs in his interior, right? He's what everybody needs in his interior. Almost 400 pounds, 6'5" frame, I think. Yeah, 6'5", 387, right? Just clogs holes up. The man's double teams, right? If in plays callous football in the trenches. If you can do that, you allow your linebackers to scrape. And that's something that I preach about, man. If the linebackers can scrape, clearly they're going to be able to make your tackles, or there shouldn't be any excuse why there's missed tackles on the field because the linebackers are scraping clearly. So this is a big gift for Texas, especially the fact that I think we lost Shaw too. The other in the portal, another big body frame. It's not so much the talent when you're losing on the interior, it's the size, right? You have to be able to eat up blockers, in my opinion, especially if you're going to play in a 3-4. You got to be able to take on a double team, especially at the nose.
I saw something on this kid to where, you would think with a 387-pound frame, I mean, the guy doesn't come off the field very often. 463 snaps this season. That's a lot of snaps, man. And that's
for a 400 pounder, man. He's in shape, right?
Yeah. And you would think where he can come here, and you put him in some sort of rotation, there along that defensive front for Coach Muschamp, that he's going to be able to get a little bit of a break where you can rotate him out. But That's what may be new to him, to where hell he don't want to come out. He doesn't.
Naaman, I don't know what we're going to play. I've seen Coach Boone roll out a 3-4 before. I've seen him roll out a 4-3 before. I don't know what his philosophy is going to be. That's why I wish we would have gotten a little bit more from what his moving forward, what Coach Boone's philosophy is going to be on the defensive front. So,
yeah. And what I like about that, because I've gotten that question asked a whole bunch of times about which variation of the defense.
Well, usually he plays multiple defenses. So he rolls out a 4-man front and he rolls out a 3-man front at times too. So,
and I think that's why he was so, you could see him plugged in so much to the Cheez-Its Bowl. And I think that he's got to evaluate what he wants to do. And I like that he hasn't come out and said it's going to be a 3-4, it's going to be a 4-3, with nickel packages and whatever it's going to be. I like that he's evaluating what he has. And honestly, I don't think that you make that move until you figure out everything that you have.
You got to see what's on your personnel. Exactly. If your personnel can support multiple defenses, then roll with multiple defenses.
That's it. And I mean, adding a piece like this, bringing this kid in, to me, that's 3-4, absolutely.
Yeah. When you bring in a clog like this, right? When you bring in a 6'5", 400-pounder, man, that seems like you're trying to eat bodies up on the regard. It could be 3-4, it could be 4-3. He's going to be eating bodies. He's going to be eating double teams up. So at the point of attack, which that's what Coach Boone demands in his defense, especially up front.
Yeah, and that's where you get guys like this, Wags, and it's like, man, I will really fit that system. I know that system is going to work well for me, whatever we're doing. So, I mean, I really like that. I think the two acquisitions yesterday, Kasunas and him, I think that those are, I mean, yeah, folks are talking about them, but I think they're bigger than a lot of people are really letting on, if I look at it from a football standpoint.
Jake, I can't see this happening too much. Maybe if Simmons wants to experience dropping off just a little bit, but ultimately I think Coach Boone knows that, to get the best out of Simmons, you just got to unleash him and just have him go after the quarterback, right? And not have him drop back into coverage. I don't think there'll be too many zone blitzes with Simmons involved. I think usually it's just going to be him wrecking shit up from the edge. So I don't think we have to worry too much about that.
Yeah, no, two good gets right there, and I think two spots that you definitely needed to get filled. And well done to Will Muschamp and the staff on that, and with the tight end as well. So, is that a splash? I think in long term it will be. I mean, you may not look at it right now and think, okay, this kid coming from Arkansas is
it's much needed. Now we'll probably address it and go get somebody else, another nose tackle or somebody that can play, inside, interior, between a 1 or a 3 technique. I'm sure that's where Coach Boone or Coach Sarkisian will be focusing on in the portal, especially if Shaw left too, because Shaw was a big body. Brevard left as well, but I think Shaw is more important for me just because of his size, right? Shaw is a pretty big dude. Shaw 6'5", 342. So you got to replace the weight, man. You got to be able to replace the size. So and we get that from Brevard. So. All right. Up next, anything else?
Oh, look at this, and CB's all over it today.
I hope I didn't start a Cliff Prable rabbit hole.
No, this is the botch snap. Remember Tony Romo against Seattle when Romo had come in and saving the season for the Cowboys. They're going to win the Super Bowl.
Is that where he lined up under?
He couldn't put
under the guard.
No, this is where he's the holder. Remember, he's the holder, and the Cowboys are about to maybe beat Seattle. Takes a snap, can't get the ball set. And the Cowboys lose. He picked up and ran and almost got in. It was the first of Tony Romo's infamous moments.
Producer Jake, I couldn't agree with you more, buddy. I couldn't agree with you more. But I think the only time that you might see Simmons, go back in pass coverage if he wants to see if he can get back in pass coverage. But I agree with, I think Coach Boone will utilize him with exactly doing what you said, and that's hunting the quarterback, buddy.
Yeah. Another interesting thing to watch is because Jaden Baugh hasn't said if he's going to the portal. We're ready for a deal to get done right there. He hasn't declared that. I mean, I think Florida's probably doing all they can to keep that dude in place over there.
Does it make you nervous that we haven't seen any portal news on Ball yet?
I would think that you would hear at least a little bit of rumbling, right? You should.
Did Trey sign with Florida State?
Florida State.
That's solid. That's inked.
Wisner is going to Florida State, which, I mean, I was looking at 24/7 this morning, and Hank South is talking about with Arizona State with Raleek Brown maybe trending towards Texas. And I think that this is kind of where we go back to the wide receiver thing. And we can only base the running back room that's here right now based off of one game, off of the Cheez-Its Bowl. But I think if you get a dude like Brown in here, I mean, what do you get with the other guys? I mean, it was a very small sample size that you had. But to me, Brown is no Ball, but you're going to get him for probably less money. You're going to bring a dude in that's played in the Big 12 and in some good games. It's seeming more like Malik Brown's heading this way.
There's nothing on Ball. I can't find shit.
Yeah. No, no. And there had to be some kind of indication that you would think at this point. So I think Florida's going to exhaust every effort to keep that guy. It seems like new staff.
But here's the thing: like, if you're Ball, like, you're going to put it all on your legs next year to come back, right? Because it's clearly all on you. You just lost, DJ Lagway. You've lost, your other, wide receiver out of the portal too. So it seems like the entire offense is falling apart and being dismantled, or it's being restructured and rebuilt around you. And if you're Ball, do you want to welcome that? Like, that's a lot of weight on your shoulders and a lot of miles that are going to be on your legs, because generally you got to run your team through the entire SEC, because what other weapons do you have, right? Now, you can go two ways. He can be looked at as the hero of Gainesville, and if there's any type of success at all with Florida, it's going to be all on mostly through Ball, right? And the offensive line, of course. Or the other way that you can look at it is that's a whole mess load of shit that I don't want to take on, and it's just going to put a lot of strain on me, and it'll take miles off of my time in the NFL. So
yeah.
But if the check's big enough, right, that could be one hell of a motivator. But yeah, I see what producer Jake says too. With no news out right now, it does feel like Ball might be staying in Gainesville. Here's the thing, like,
unless there's a deal done here and we'd know about
and
that.
we don't know about it, right? Or they're trying to get the number right. And Wisner left for, I can't stop thinking about this. Like, Wisner left for a reason. Like, Big Game Trey left after the exit interview, which means he heard news that somebody big was coming in, or somebody better than him, or with potentially a bigger caliber than him was coming in, right? I'm deducing that it's Ball. I could be absolutely wrong here. I hope I'm not, because I feel like I've already started, fantasizing about the season next year with the dude in the backfield, man. So
yeah, well, and I think the biggest question that I would have about Brown, and there's on Horns 24/7, there's a great comparison between the two. He's like, smaller.
Rodney says it too. Like, I think there's got to be a reason why these backs are leaving, right? It can't be an ultimate fallout from just because you had a 3-loss season.
Yeah.
Okay. There's somebody's coming. Somebody bigger has to be coming in, which is pushing these backs out.
And I think the other part of that is that I'm sure that the change at running back coach was not something that just happened. I mean, there had to be discussions. These guys had to know that Chad Scott was going to be going out the door, and they probably knew.
My dude, like, you sit here and play for Chad Scott for a season. You know how awful you know that the writing's on the wall with Chad Scott leaving.
Right. And you had to know that the next dude was coming. I mean, you had to be told. It's good business to tell your people.
To your point, there's a lot of communication that's going on inside of that organization or inside of the building that we're probably not privy to. Right?
That we have no clue about. Yeah, absolutely. But I do think if Ball is going to stay, if you get Malik Brown, I mean, this dude rushed for almost 1,200 yards. He's a little bit smaller. He's 5'9". I guess that's the one thing that you could go back to him. But where Ball is kind of that big bruising, gonna get
Wisner 6 foot.
Wisner is 6 foot 194, and Brown is 5'9", 195. So, a few inches makes a difference.
Yeah, but I bet Brown's got more quickness than Wisner.
No, that's the thing. This to me seems more like a Jaden Blue kind of guy. I mean, where you get that explosiveness. He just seems more explosive. At 33 receptions, 239 yards, 2 touchdowns. So I hate to say that if that's what you end up with, and apparently Brown is leaning this way, I'm not going to be completely brokenhearted about that, because I do think that with the change at running back, coach, that you do have a couple of guys there that can be a part of this room and be effective in this room right now. You just need that number one. I think you need the number one, the experienced number one, and that could be Malik Brown.
And so, and this is also where I keep going back and forth at, right? Like I want to think like the power deduction, you know, with Wisner and Baxter leaving that somebody else bigger is coming in, right? Like that logic seems rational. Okay. But also I go back to this, what Jake is talking about too. Like, why wouldn't Ball just have already signed right now? Right. If the numbers were right, like he's clearly the highly touted or the highly touted, you know, commodity for the portal this year for the running back room, right? The numbers should already be right, and he should have been putting ink to paper, honestly.
Right.
Why hasn't it been done yet?
Yeah, and that would be the other thing, because you know that the negotiations are happening. You know that the agent's being called and numbers are being thrown around.
Correct.
So, and that's the other part of it, to where we naturally think that it's going to be a slam dunk for him to come to Texas to follow his running back coach here, which you would hope that, and you would think that that's something definitely in your favor, but he may be happy there. He may be happy there. He's looking forward to a new regime. I don't know, but you would think that you would have had some kind of rumbling that he was at least considering that. We haven't even heard that.
Yeah, if I got you, I don't have anything on Muhammad yet, though. Nothing. Yeah, it's just been Brown and Ball. What Double R's been talking about here.
Well,
so
and I think with Brown, I mean, because that can be your guy where we talk about, you know, screens out of the backfield and all that shit. It's this Steve Sarkisian offense. Because a couple of things. I mean, with the addition of the tight end's got to factor incredibly. You've gone and got that. If you get a more of a slicer out of the backfield that's able to catch screens and able to do bubble screens and all these different things, that seems like something that Brown would be, you know, more susceptible to be successful at. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be disappointed if that dude comes here. Brown. Love to see Ball.
I'm also good with Clark, right? Like, I know you're going to need a lot more than just Clark. Okay. 100%.
Yeah.
And if Clark's your guy, we're in a lot of trouble. Let's just be real about it. But I'm cool with having Clark as a guy that can spell a little bit and get some totes.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, here's the thing where this is the new normal. I mean, it's not going to be, I mean, all these people start hitting the portal before it opens. You know that they're going to be there and people can go to work and, you know, non-tampering and all that, but you're going to have this happening.
And you guys know my default scenario, or my default thought is that the sky is falling, right? When all this shit happens, it doesn't go our way. My initial thought is the sky is falling. It's doomsday. Oh my God, you know, the burnt orange is burning down. Here we go. So yeah. I think everything's going to be fine. I think, you know, the blue blood program will sort itself out. So
when we go back to Trey Wisner, I mean, this is like what you're talking about, to where there has to be some knowledge that something's happening. Right. Somebody's coming. For him to end up at Florida State, I mean, I would assume that he'll be running back one there. I'm not real familiar with.
I don't know. I don't think I don't think he has the speed to be running back one.
Yeah,
I don't.
It's not the SEC. I mean, that's something else. You know, he's been an SEC running back. You know, no offense to any other conference. So I think that weighs in well for him. But I would assume he would be the featured back there.
I mean, Jordan said it best to me the other day, right? Like, can you think of everybody? Name another running back room that Trey Wisner was better than.
Better than?
Yeah. Was Trey Wisner better than Mississippi State's running back room?
Oh yeah, I
mean, maybe or
mid-level tier.
I guess faster. Same speed. I should say speed level, right? Jordan went through this exercise with me the other day. We went through schools in the SEC. There was probably like one, maybe two schools that could compete with the level of speed that Wisner had. Everybody else was faster than Wisner.
Yeah. And Jorge's got it right here. I mean, when he said he was going to the portal, OU was the first place I thought. I'm like, man, OU is going to be all over that dude. And, you know, I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad he's not going to be playing in the conference. I'm glad Texas doesn't have to see him. Well, maybe they do if you get a college football playoff situation. But that's a very
Brown 80% a Longhorn, Jake says. Okay. Man,
seems like it's going to happen.
What about Texas hoops, man? Can you get on board with Texas hoops tonight?
Or, I don't know. Can they make some free throws?
What's that?
Can they make some free throws? Hey, the women almost went down last night. The women were up big, and they managed to hold on, beat the top 15.
I did not see women's hoops last night.
I saw just the end of it. I got an alert. The game was on, and they were up against Ole Miss, ironically, playing Ole Miss up by, I think, up by 19, and still managed to hold on and win 67-64, 17-0 for Vic and the ladies right now. So good for them. But yeah, going in the opposite directions, right? The men coming off of that. God, that was rough. We can play that sound again. That's a great sound from Coach Miller.
You tell your kids not to go across the street and run in traffic, and they still do the shit. Well, hopefully they can get it sorted out, because Tennessee's they don't have the same type of problems that Coach Sean Miller has. So it seems like Rick Barnes.
Oh, Sunday. Thank you.
What's up?
No, somebody said the game was Sunday. I don't even know what the date is today. What is today? Today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday, amigo. You talking about the women's game?
No, yeah, the women's game.
Yeah, women's game was on Sunday. Yeah. All right. So we got Tennessee coming up tonight, amigo. How you feel about this?
Rick Barnes, man. Anytime Rick Barnes comes around, I sit there and I watch, and I'm like, God dang it. I wish we still had that guy. I'm a Rick Barnes fan. But Tennessee.
All right. Don't write Sean Miller off just yet.
No,
okay?
no. I'm not. Nothing against Coach Miller whatsoever. But it's like I was just really a Rick Barnes guy. Of course, I was a Tom Penders guy. I wasn't used to Texas basketball being relevant. But I think this is another one of those games like we talked about early in the year, Wags, to where if Texas stays, what's the line? I think
we are going to get smoked.
I think if this is 10 or 11 points, what game was that we were talking about? To where
UConn, you were talking about UConn.
UConn, yeah. If this is 10, if Texas covers, I'm like, great game.
We might get blown out of the gym tonight.
Well, it's Dalen Swain. I'm assuming that Tennessee's going to come very aggressive with Dalen Swain, get him out of the game, and then who?
Tennessee just plays very good complemental basketball too, man. I don't know if you've been watching a lot of SEC hoops, so far this year, but they move the ball around. They always find the open shot, it seems. And when people try and close out on the perimeter, they find a nice entry pass down low for an easy basket. They just do all the easy things right. It's fun. It's fundamental basketball 101, and that's usually what you get from Rick Barnes. And they always got a guard, right? Tennessee's always got a guard, and Gillespie is that guy this year. So, look, man, 10.5 is the line right now. Probably going to be a rough night. Probably going to be about 15, maybe 15 points. If again, like I'll try and be optimistic with it. Come in and make it a 1-2 possession ball game. You can get it within 6, then I'll feel good about the night. I don't need to see a win here. I'd love to see a win because it's going to be few and far between, within the SEC based off of what we saw in non-conference play.
And that's where the loss over the weekend makes it even a harder loss to swallow, because that's one that you should have gotten. You should have gotten, and you found a way not to lose that, or you found a way to lose that and not to lose that. So, yeah, this tonight, it is. If it's 10 or 15 points, I'm happy if it stays that close. But I see this thing really stretching out.
The line's 10.5. I think the line's fine. If you want to bet on Tennessee, you're fine with that line.
Yeah,
they will cover. They will absolutely cover.
And it's like, other than Dalen Swain, who's going to be the one? It's just that person isn't there yet. I think he obviously doesn't have his guys yet. This is going to take a little bit of time, and it's pretty damn obvious right now. There's a lot of missing pieces, and this is going to be a work in progress for Texas.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to. I think if the Longhorns want to stay in the game, they're going to have to work it down low. Get Vakatitis to sit there and try and bang as much as he can. And honestly, get the Vols in foul trouble. If you can get them in, team fouls early and get opportunities to where you can get, into the 1-on-1 and maybe into the double if you get them down too much in team fouls. But if you can get to where you're, on the charity stripe pretty early and kind of keep this a slow paced game and don't let Tennessee run you out of the gym, you got a chance here, right? But ultimately that comes back down to discipline and hitting your free throws. So if you can't do that, you're not going to be able to win.
And I think if Tennessee gets aggressive, which I'm sure they will, I mean, that's where this team is not ready to be aggressive in return. So I just, it's a tough stretch coming up, man. These next three games going to be kind of rough, man. Tennessee, Bama, and Vanderbilt. This is where I go back to, you should have won that game over the weekend, because you need to start racking up some kind of wins if you're thinking about dancing, and you missed a good opportunity over the weekend.
Yeah, I'm still looking at the matchup down low. I mean, we'll probably win and we'll probably be able to battle in boards, but still, I think that we're at least 15 points to the bad here. It's gonna be a rough game. Tonight.
CB says they need Cliff Crable. Need Cliff Crable in the paint. Put that dude in there. No, he's skinny. But then there's a positive right there. Women's basketball is looking good. Salud, my man. Salud. Anyway,
get to some of your comments here in just a few seconds. But anything else we got on the slate to get off?
What else do we have? I think we got. Man, I haven't gotten to ask you. Talking a little Major League Baseball. How about the Astros? Tatsuya.
How about it? Tell me a little bit about it here.
Dude, this is an amazing prospect out of Japan. This guy comes in. The Astros don't sign Japanese players. I mean, for whatever reason, they've never gone down that road to where they go.
What are they, racist?
It's got to be. 3-year, $54 million deal for this dude coming in last year. He had a 1.92.
How much?
3-year, $54 million deal. But here's the caveat to it. Every year he has an opt-out option. So that's kind of different. But he had his intro press conference yesterday at the whatever the place is called now. And he said very few words because he doesn't speak English. But the English words that he had were, yo, happy to be in Houston. I'm here to compete for a championship. And he specifically wants to beat the Dodgers, says this guy. So into a loaded rotation.
Does he got a vendetta against Shohei? What's going on here?
I just hope he doesn't bet. That's the last thing Houston needs. You don't need another scandal with a better. But 1.92 ERA, 27-year-old dude. I think your rotation here for the Astros with Valdez and Hunter Brown. I keep seeing Lance McCullers Jr. thrown into that rotation. I'm like, I'm not counting on that dude. I see him and like my shoulder falls off. So good get for the Astros. Very, very aggressive move for the Astros and GM Dana Brown. Optimism in Houston.
How about that? One more quick note here on Texas.
Cliff Crable?
No. We can close on Cliff Crable here in a little bit. One more note here on Texas and Tennessee. Again, just looking at the preview here. I know that you want someone else besides Swain to come out and do that. If you have to pick your second assassin, who is it besides Swain? Do you think Mark can kind of get busy and go tonight, or do you think you want to try and battle it out down low and go with Vakatitis?
I think you got to go to Vakatitis because you need the big guy. You need a big man. I keep thinking the small shades that I've seen of Cam Heide when he's on. It's like, okay, maybe that's the guy, but that point is being disproven.
There's not enough output from Cam Heide.
I know. Yeah, exactly. So I guess by default, maybe go to Tremont Mark.
Mark is crafty for me too because he's unorthodox, right? He's got that unorthodox left, right? Very, very awkward and hard to guard, or appears to be awkward and hard to guard too. But also sometimes I feel like Mark dribbles himself into trouble, right? And sometimes he just gets into one of those death spots that can't get out of it on the floor. And then once that defense rotates over, he's almost into a trap. If they can find a way to kind of get Mark to flow with Swain and then
Mhm.
Pope too, right? Like if Pope can be somewhat successful from the perimeter, maybe it softens up this defense just a little bit to get us inside and have Vakatitis kind of open it up. And I think we'll do fine on the boards. I mentioned that, but if you can continue to maybe get second chance putbacks and tips, keep this thing close, and again, wear them down and get to the free throw line, you might have a chance. But ultimately, Double R, I think we're going to get blown out of the gym.
Yeah, and
if any of those things that I just mentioned don't happen, we will get blown out of the gym. Texas will get blown out of the gym.
And then pop in some Kendall Weaver from time to time, maybe.
Weaver's the pulse, right? Weaver's the heartbeat. Okay.
Yeah.
So, if he can kind of get it going on the defensive side and kind of galvanize and get some energy for the quick and easy transition baskets, then absolutely too, right? But I think ultimately you kind of want to slow this game down and kind of battle within, right?
Yeah. You would think, but I just think that tonight it's going to be a little out of hand. I mean, I just don't see you're going to be chasing your ass all night. It kind of seems like what's going to happen here. I mean, the score may indicate something different at the end of this, but it just seems like you're on the road. On top of that, on the road, I mean, if this were home, maybe you could kind of lean on that a little bit. But I just don't see it. Yeah.
Maybe I'm still a prisoner of the moment, from the Mississippi State loss. But I mean, to be able to, if you can come out and have the same type of performance like that, maybe you can kind of stay in this game, maybe. But again, like you're going to need somebody to get 40. You're going to need, Swain's got to go off for over 30 or somebody else has to be over 30. And do we have a guy that can consistently get you 30 points on this team?
You don't. I mean, you don't. And
there isn't.
And that's going to be the charge next season in the portal to go find that guy to bring that in. So again, you have to, this is where anytime we have this discussion about Texas basketball, it's like keep the realistic expectations in front of you. This isn't a team that's going to go out there and thrill you every day.
And I'm guilty of that, right? Like every season I sit here and think, hey, Texas hoops has a shot. I mean, I get excited about the roster. Not so much this. I was very excited about the roster last season. They just weren't able to put anything together. I've been surprised with this roster this season, right? I'd still like to see more development, breath of fresh air with Vakatitis down low, and being able to battle on the boards, especially after 3 or 4 seasons where we just don't show up and we always get out rebounded. Now it feels like every night we do have a chance at least competing down low. And maybe that's the answer, right? Maybe you slow this thing down a little bit. You try and get Vakatitis to have somewhat of just a nasty attitude tonight and just be ferocious. And then you get him into foul trouble and you walk him down and kind of labor him tonight. And that's maybe the way that you do it here.
And I really think that what Sean
they're going to be able to score from the perimeter though. That's how Tennessee usually score. I mean, Greg usually has tremendous guard play. So
yeah, it's going to be Sean Miller's going to have to try to find ways to make what he has here, what he has inherited with this, and he's brought his own pieces, but not a lot of them. But what you have to do is you have to make this team better each and every game, and that's where it's going to be really hard with what you have coming up. And I think tonight you can take a positive step forward, and be competitive in this game. But I'm with you where I just don't see how that's going.
Again, I'm guilty. I do it every year. I already did it this season thinking that the Longhorns could be a playoff team. It still might be too early to decide, but based off of what I've seen in the non-con,
you just don't have it. I mean, right. It's just
I just don't. I think there's a lot of good schools in the SEC that will be playing March basketball and not us.
Yeah, so,
it's again very still too early to tell. Right, we're just getting into conference basketball here, so
it's like I talk to people like when it comes to high school football, to where it's like I don't realize why our team struggles. I don't realize why our team can't do this and whatever. And what it really comes down to with Texas basketball right now is everybody you're playing here moving forward is better than you. I mean that sounds like Captain Obvious, but everybody is better than you, and it's going to be really hard to be competitive at this point. There are going to be games where you can go out and win, and I do think that as the season goes on a little bit longer,
there's teams in the SEC that you can beat. Like you can beat you.
Well,
I think it's a bad matchup with Tennessee because of their guards, right? I just don't think we have guards that can stick with them. But yeah, if there's a team that you got to battle down low, I think that you can create yourself an advantage there, or you can stick with a team. But ultimately, you don't have the shooters this year. You just don't.
That's exactly right. And I think once you hit that halfway pole where you've played you've played half of the schedule already, then you have an opportunity to where you can go up and you knock off one of these really good teams. I hate to say somehow, but that happens in college basketball. That happens in basketball to where you win a game you should.
The home dog is the best bet to take almost every night out for college basketball. The home dog, man.
Absolutely. So, just keep everything in check. And tonight, if you get down by 20 points, just don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because Tennessee is that much better than you are. And they're going to try to expose every weakness that they can find, my man.
Yeah, we're going to see. I mean, again, coming off of only been one game in conference play. So we'll see how this turns out, but I'm not expecting a good night tonight. We'll just say that. I think it's a bad matchup for the Horns, especially basketball is usually about the matchups, right? It's usually about the big three in the matchups, but this is a very bad matchup because of guard play. So.
And it's like you said, you don't have a shooter, and I mean that's
and they got three, right? And they got three shooters.
They got at least three, so it's pretty glaring weakness. And if
all right, where you want to go? Where you want to go next?
How you like that, Cliff Clavin? Too bad he wasn't a real Cliff Clavin. Still Cliff Crable. I mean, that's the MVP word of the day right there. Good job, Wags, bringing him up. I
didn't bring him up. Who found it? I think it was CB.
No, I don't even know how he came up today.
Old shows.
Talking about con men?
I guess we were talking about old shows or some shit like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why you love the 2 hours, man. It can go anywhere. You just never know where we're gonna land.
Oh, dude!
Well, I swear we have an agenda. We do have an agenda. We just don't know if we're gonna stick to it most of the time.
Yeah, well, that's a great part. That's a great part about having the audience that we have. When we talk about these folks, they can take us down rabbit holes that we can never sense that are even going to be coming. So good stuff there. What'd you think of Steve Kerr getting ejected last night? Fiery.
I didn't see that. So I saw flashes on SportsCenter, but I was watching. I had the Pistons up on one channel, and then I had on ESPN Plus. I had the Caps game.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I only saw it happening. Apparently, I haven't gone back and listened to the call, but apparently, like Snoop Dogg was on the call when he got thrown out.
What led up to it? I mean, was it just a regular ejection, or did he break bad on somebody? What happened?
No, I think he just got crossed up with a call and got pissed off and probably said the wrong thing.
Did he get punched by Michael Jordan?
Hit a wrong nerve, but could have been Michael Jordan. That's Michael Jordan. Jeez Louise. But and then Curry fouls out. So it was, I don't know the details, but I did see that he was getting escorted out. We'll have to get that pulled about with the Snoop on the call, because I heard that's pretty funny.
I did not see it. I haven't heard too many games of Snoop calling this season there.
Did you see him catch the so he had you had the Snoop Dogg Bowl or whatever that was called. Did you see that where he was doing a live interview with whoever it was? There's like the kickoff. Snoop's standing right outside of the end zone. He walked up and he caught the opening kickoff. Well, he tried to catch the opening kickoff, and he fell over. I didn't see that either. Like showing half his ass, but Snoop.
I didn't see that either. We got about 10 more minutes left in the show for this 2 hour Tuesday. You want to start getting to some of the comments on the show?
Absolutely. What all we got happening here? Let's go to the Coda text line, and we can.
We got any other saved sponsors to get to or anything? We got them.
I think we got everybody.
We pay all the bills. That's what Cliff used to say too. We got to get out of here and pay some bills.
That dude's going out there to rip people off. Are you kidding me? That dude had to go out and make sales.
Y'all sparked some hate in me today. Congratulations.
This is actually from yesterday, but the response has been asked once again. It says, Wags, how do you enjoy Arc Raiders, and what blueprints do you need? I might have them. And ask again today, do you need any blueprints?
Arc Raiders has been probably the game for the past 2 months now. I think it's leading in all genres here. People want to call it a shooter. It's not really a shooter. It's a looter, if you will. It's an extraction game. So those of you guys that are familiar with Tarkov, Escape from Tarkov, it's fun. It's fantastic. And it's got servers that are, actually viable and can actually support, a full match of players. But it's cool. It's unique. It's unlike any other game that I've played. It's kind of got a little bit of a variation of Tarkov, but it's third person instead of first person. So you can kind of cheat and peek corners and shit like that. But ultimately, man, like you gotta play it slow. I don't need any loot. I've gotten 40 blueprints so far. I appreciate you offering like that. But if you ever want to join up and raid out, hit me up on the Discord or whatever, and we can definitely get into a match. But yeah, Arc Raiders, I'm enjoying it thoroughly. Whenever we get a chance to kind of roll and raid, I'm usually going top side.
So blueprints. What are blueprints? I mean, I know what blueprints are, but
so you can find a weapon or you can find materials in the game, but ultimately, like the lottery ticket is finding the blueprints for that, so you can craft it and you don't have to find it and rely on pulling it out of a loot bin or something inside of the game. You can actually craft it inside of your workshop. So yeah, good question. Let's get nerdy. Let's get dorky. Let's talk video games. I would love a session where we could just talk gaming. I really would, but I know that people would be tuning out immediately. So we might have to make that its own little like Wagner Wire podcast.
I was going to say you need to do a gaming like a gaming thing where you, because I mean, if you're going to do something like that, you certainly don't need me or any co-host because you can run that yourself. I mean, not that
I thought about bringing the streaming back. Like I used to do a lot of streaming back in the day. Got affiliated with Twitch, never really partnered with Twitch, but affiliated with Twitch. But here's the thing, like when I'm gaming, I don't want the camera on me, right? Like you guys know, like I smoke weed, right? Everybody knows I smoke weed. Like in terms of me being into my meta state and playing, video games, like at the end of the night, I gotta go step outside and walk into the clouds and kind of get into my sanctuary before I start gaming, right? Because gaming, gets my anxiety up a little bit at times too, right? So sometimes I like to kind of let loose and walk in the clouds and then, kind of relax and go in that way. I don't want the camera on me when I'm gaming. Like sometimes I want to turn everything off and just kind of relax and let loose and be me, man.
Well, and that's where, because like I mentioned to you a couple of times, like with NASCAR 25.
No, you can see me just kind of bent down underneath the damn, underneath the desk or whatever, and take a big old rip. You know what I mean? Right before we get into a raid. No, man, come on.
So with NASCAR 25, you can sit there and you can race against, you can do your own career, you can race against the NASCAR stars, but then you can actually go on there to the online community and race against
other people, right?
Yeah. And that's where. That's what I don't like, because like I'll join races and they're like, you have to have the mic on. And I'm like, man, I don't.
So you can talk shit?
Well, yeah, I mean, but it happened. So this happened on Saturday.
Steering wheel, right?
I've got the steering wheel. I got all that bullshit. But so Saturday I'm sitting there racing, and Wags, I'm about to make a pass for a win in like this long ass race. I've invested all this fucking time in this race, and I'm lapping a guy and he sticks me right in the fence. He hooks me. And I'm like ripping this dude. And some little voice comes on and says, RR7224, we're supposed to not cuss on here. I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, this dude just took me out. It was like a G-rated league. And I'm like, can we just leave the mic off?
Just mute your mic, man. Just mute your mic. So I think what separates Arc Raiders from other games too is this: if you don't extract successfully and get out of the mission, get out of the match alive, you lose all of your shit. So like if you have a really good gun that you're taking in there, or really good gear, grenades and stuff, and you're going up top side and you're trying to do some raids and you don't find any good stuff, and say you die from like a big machine or a robot or some shit like that, or another team kills you, you lose all of your shit. Which it's a very toxic game, but I'm into that type of shit. Like it's supposed to be some type of friendly community at times, right? And it's aggressive based play too. So if you're aggressive in the game, you're going to get into other servers with aggressive people. Or if you're passive and docile, you're going to get into a game where there's not many people shooting at you. But ultimately, like what I like to do, I'm that toxic guy that when there's people just standing around having a nice little discussion, I'll throw a fucking grenade in the middle of those people, kill them all, and get all their gear. Like that's the type of person I am. People say that I ruined the game. Bullshit. The game was made that way for people.
Well, and that's the whole thing, Wags. It's like any sort of game. I mean, anything. We can talk about pickleball. We can talk about tennis, playing golf with your buddies, whatever. You're going to be competitive. I mean, I'm not
the
talking
guy
about
in
you.
gym class. I'm the guy in gym class that yelled at you if you didn't put out.
Exactly.
Like,
I'm put
come
out.
on, man, come on. And like that scene in the scene in Superbad where they're playing soccer.
Yeah.
They're playing soccer, and the guy, come on, we're down 3 scores, man. Chill out, Greg. It's soccer. Okay. I was Greg. Okay. Even though I didn't play soccer in high school, I still wanted to win, man. It don't matter. If I'm going out there and competing, I want to win at something. I don't want to lose. Who wants to lose, loser?
Yeah. And here we go again. More love to that FCS game last night, which, yes, great football, great Monday night football. I mean,
if you had to watch that by default, you know what I mean, because it was the only football game on, you were in pretty good company, right? To have come down to an extra point get blocked, right, for the FCC or for the FCS championship, and then ultimately fourth in game, fourth in game. They had to go for it on fourth. I guess they could have gotten the first down, right? They were still. I think they could have got a first down at like the 3-yard line or the 2-yard line, but ultimately at that point you're getting in for 6. They brought a cover 0 blitz where they just brought the house. They were manned up, and sure enough they got beat, man. A nice little out route or corner route to the flag there, and lock it up. Montana State getting their second FCS championship since 1984.
And there's the fun is winning. Look, man, this is we as dudes, and the ladies are just as much the same way. I mean, ladies can say that.
I don't. My wife is not that. My wife is just like, I want to see everybody have fun.
Yeah.
Like even when we were going to watch, Round Rock basketball, she was. I want the other kids to do well too. No, we want Round Rock to win, honey. That's just it.
Yeah.
My wife is so kind. She wants everybody to play their best game.
Well, it was when I was in the heyday of my cycling time.
This is legit.
Is that legit? Did that really happen? We'll verify that here before we get out of here. But it was I was always.
I went on Twitter, but I got distracted by Souls' handle there. So if you guys are in the feed, give Souls a follow there.
Yeah, well, I'm over here looking at Twitter, and all I can see is Liv Morgan. I guess she started wrestling again last night. Is that something I missed on Raw? Hey, you know who? Speaking of this, we have talked. Speaking of ladies, we have talked all year about Miss Ursay Gordon with the Colts. You want to talk about going from the penthouse to the shit house? They don't like her in Indianapolis no more. It's like she did like a season-ending press conference yesterday, and people are just ripping her for the demise of the team this year.
Oh, I'm sorry that your quarterback got hurt and you had to go to Phil Rivers.
Yeah, it's like when you have to go to the couch. That's something that tends to make it a little harder. But yeah, she's not like everybody's glowing about her being on the sidelines and shit early in the year. Now it's not so much. That Cam Coleman thing, I'm trying to exhaust some efforts here to figure out if that actually has been done.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter. We'll keep you updated. I mean, make sure you guys follow up on Texas Sports Unfiltered throughout the day. Make sure you like the video when we get done with this too.
Yeah, that's right. Be sure and tell your friends. What did Hart say?
Yeah, tell your friends to come on by.
Tell your friends. Tell people that you don't like, because we do this live every day. We do this. I don't think.
Do we have a prediction on the score tonight for Texas hoops?
Texas is going to lose.
The line's 10.5.
Texas is going to lose 79-64. 79-64. That's what I'm thinking.
That's a pretty good line. Did you look at the numbers already?
No, I just know it's 10.5. I know it's 10.5. I think Texas is going to get close at some point. I think Texas will get under 10 at one point, and then it's going to come down to you don't have the shooter. You just don't have the shooter.
Give me 69 to 61.
That close. Nice.
Give me 69-61.
Nice.
Tennessee.
We'll find out in the morning. We will find out in the morning. Hey,
Texas covers, but I'm going to be optimistic. I think they battle down low. I think they get them in foul trouble. And I think perimeter defense will be sound tonight. It's going to have to be, or else they will get blown out of the gym. But I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to take the Horns with the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're getting, hey, you said 69. So you've got our folks excited. So 69
Nice.
works for this bunch.
Nice.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, maybe we come on and we're talking about a big. Let's say I'm not going to say that tomorrow morning if we come on and we're talking about a victory. I'm going to say if we come on and we're talking about a very competitive game that comes down to the last 2 minutes or so, that would be a very great way to start Hump Day morning right here on Chaos Theory with the Texas basketball team. I'll just kind of call it that, but I'm
going to be optimistic. Let's
gotta be.
Horns don't win, but Horns cover. Horns give us something to talk about tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. And friends,
all right, folks. Hey, make sure you guys like the video. Zay and Chip will be here at 2 p.m. But up next, you guys know the drill on Texas Sports Unfiltered. Our friends at the Voice of College Football talk about why Texas fans need to not panic about the lack of early action in the transfer portal.
I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you guys so much for another 2-hour edition of Chaos Theory. We will be back tomorrow on Hump Day. Hopefully, Horns get the win tonight, but let's temper expectations. We'll be back tomorrow, man. You guys put a bow on this bad boy. Like the video, and Chip and Zay will see you at 2. See you guys.